Oh, I'm Pat. Oh, it's the thing. There we go. I'm
This
Pat.
is bad. Totally with the things over here. Hi, Pat. I'm Jeffrey. No, this is. You can see here. This is where you know if you're going to be practicing now. I'm knee
That's
deep.
literally all Japanese to me. I
As you can
had to
see,
use that line, dude.
it's a good point. Yeah, Greek would be
Oh,
the
Greek.
origin is where that comes from, but that's okay. So now that I've actually been forced into through my readings to learn these stupid kanjis. Now you have to practice them. You're going to be writing them on something. I had to order a drawing erase board. This is
Oh,
where
okay.
this comes in. Now I learned how to say, construct it from my own thoughts here. Uh, when I wanted to say like, I'm a big fan of the place that makes the big ass burritos, and now I know how to say that in Japanese.
What is the place in Japan that makes the big ass
I don't
burritos?
think there is one.
Oh,
I
okay.
presumed. So here's the thing: is I presume there's some kind of like Japanese chipotle. So I don't know what
I'm
they.
sure it's called Chipotle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know what they put into it. So I don't know if it's.
Fucking fish.
It's exactly it. So you go there and it's like,
Octopi.
yeah, it's first and foremost you go there. It's like so choose your tortilla, and one of them is actually like a loaf of French bread. I have no idea what they're going to do
Yeah.
there. They're just going to go hollow something out. It comes in a crepe. Yeah. So you do that, and then you choose your protein. So it's either like fish, different kind of fish, or fish, and then you go to. Actually, you might get
Not
pork.
flip fod. Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Oh my God. Oh, swear to God.
Some
So
form of.
number one, actually, that's true. So number one is like fish, right?
Right.
Unspecified. Number two is cuttlefish, which is squid,
Right, yeah.
right? Then you have three, which is like octopus. And remember, we're making a burrito out of this,
Yeah, no, clearly. Yeah.
right? They don't ask you what rice you get. They just put
The
rice
green
in there.
chili is not what you think it is.
Yeah, dude, this is gonna be whack. But so if such a place exists, I'll find it. But again, that'll be in another 5 years or so when I feel confident enough with this language.
Oh, okay.
Actually, I have no idea. Patrick,
Isn't your brother going?
yeah, I think he goes this summer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this summer. To tell you the truth, it will be.
Wait, is he still going?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, he is. Him and both of his children. I
Oh,
will.
he's taking his kids.
Yeah. Well, that's the reason he's going. Is this is a school sponsored trip?
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was someone's girlfriend. That's right. But you're right. It was with his kids.
The whole purpose, the whole reason I started learning this backwards ass language was to actually keep up with them. It seemed interesting because they started, dinking around
Oh,
on the
dude, you
apps.
went way past where they're at. You always
Way
do
past,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
This is where the line, and I just shot way past
Yeah.
it.
And then you're like, where is everybody? And everybody's like, yeah, I stopped doing that 2 years ago.
You're not kidding, man. I remember just the first time those guys were like, we want to do this Warrior Dash thing. It's like, what is this? It's a 5K where
It's like,
you
well, I'll see you at 4:45 every Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
as it was starting to come up on like the set like 2 weekends away before this thing was coming. I was like, have you guys been doing any? It's like, no, you have not.
No, that's
Okay.
fine.
All right.
Yeah, they don't actually want to
No.
win. Yeah.
So, yeah, that's how that started. But yeah, at this point, I'll tell you, I'll be going. It just depends on her. So sometime
Oh, yeah, yeah.
when when Kids Ash's time has come, that's when I'll go.
Okay, that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Well,
That's a good way to get your mind off
that's my thought.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, man, I think I quit the Duolingo, what, at least 2 months ago, where the bird finally fucking pissed me off to the point in time I deleted him. So I was like, you're out of here, kid.
Yeah, you got fucking greasy about it. I didn't
I
know
didn't
that
get
I didn't
greasy
know that
about it.
you deleted him though.
I did. I deleted him.
Okay.
So he's off my phone. You know what the
Wow.
most annoying thing about that thing was it would jump around its position on my phone. So on my home screen.
I did not
It
ever
would
have
do
that,
that on
but
fucking purpose, man. I'm telling you.
I'm certain. But
So, every time that you missed a lesson, it would change its spot. Where are you going? You coming in or are you staying over
I think she wants to come in.
there? Okay. Go ahead. Go ahead. You can go that way. Oh, you just want to sit. All right, that's fine. God, I'm allergic to you.
Has she been giving you a hard time?
No, no, no,
All
man.
right.
So it's just the baseline is pretty high at the moment.
Oh, I see.
Go
Okay,
ahead,
so is
though.
there a lot of is this when the great deal of allergens comes
Oh
out
yeah,
to get you? Yeah.
there are two times a year when everything comes alive and when everything dies. So both times are very bad. Hmm.
I guess that makes sense.
It's okay. It is time to waterboard myself daily again for a while, though.
Well,
Like, so there's a chunk during the summer and the early fall, and then like the dead of winter where I don't have to do that. It just feels like I got out of Gitmo. Let me out for a little while.
these I don't think to be fair, I just don't think that's going to stop regardless of where you live. Like if
Oh
you
no,
yeah.
no. Actually, it's way better here than it is other places.
Is it really?
Oh yeah,
Well,
Arizona fucking sucks, dude. So the whole valley there is just full of fruit trees, and there's like almost nothing on the planet other than horses that I'm more allergic to than fruit trees. So
that's a good point.
so yeah, they're bad.
I can see that. Yeah.
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 Well, like when I used to, it's been a minute since I've gotten mine done, but there are three things that I'm deathly allergic to:
Yeah.
horses, fruit trees, and there's a certain type of mold spore that's really bad for me.
Oh, okay.
And then behind that is dogs, dust, pollens, most forms of grass, and cottonwood trees. So, and then behind that is cats. Um, and what else? There's something else in there. Ferrets. Yeah, I'm a little bit allergic to ferrets. They tested me out.
Man, this is kind of wacky where you just kind of like I have layers and layers of
They come in scores. It's
yeah.
like 1 through 5, and 5 is like don't ever eat that or rub that against your face. So
But those two like horses are they a five for you?
I think horses are a 4, dogs are a 3, cats are a 2.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
yeah, but no, there's not an animal that's higher than horse on my list. So I think that was a 4 though.
See, that's the thing. I don't. I know that people say that thing where it's like they can change every 7 years. So this is the great mystery on that. I love people when they say this. Like, it is true that those things can happen in
Mm-hmm.
roughly that cyclical time. However, it doesn't mean that
Mm-hmm.
your 7 years is up. It doesn't mean
Mm-hmm.
that you lasted this long and
What
now
it
it's
means
gone.
is you have a 1 in 7 chance that they change any given year.
Right. Right.
So
Yeah.
yeah, well, it's been 7 years, so they no,
Yeah.
that's not how that works, man. So, and you just have to understand what allergies are. They're an overreaction of your immune system.
Right.
And so, if anything's going on with your immune system, where it's like just it identifies something that's not a threat as a threat, you will get allergies.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, and so it can change all the time. Sometimes it takes externals, like my wife's allergies all changed when she went through chemotherapy. So, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Chemotherapy was hitting the random button 3 times. It was like, okay, so what's going on now?
Right. Right. Right.
On your character creator when it comes to your allergies, tastes, and tolerances. So, but other things can do it too.
Yeah.
So, or just like eventually, you just get used to things, and your allergies go away. So that happens too.
Right.
So that's why, what was it for years? Like, there's so many kids that are allergic to peanut butter now. I think the actual like thing is to actually expose your 6-month-old child to peanut butter.
Just eat it.
I might not be. I don't know if that's the actual thing or not. So I haven't looked into that in ages. But so don't quote that as medical advice, and please God, don't do that to your kids unless your doctor says it's okay.
I think we've made it fairly certain on many occasions, although it doesn't hurt to restate it at this point. Yes, that any advice that we give that even
Right.
leans into the medical field, yes, before starting this or any weight loss regimen or anything else, like consult your doctor,
Consult your
your
doctor.
actual doctor, right?
Yeah.
Um,
Not your Google doctor.
that's correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. And to be fair, this is you've talked about the explosion of peanut butter allergies and the exposure and that kind of thing. Look, um, in the same way that we used to have talks about like lactose intolerance and that kind of stuff here.
Mm-hmm.
Fact of the matter is, food was food. Your parents gave you a peanut butter sandwich, and if you made you feel a little bit, if you like exploded, but that didn't happen all that often.
I don't remember that happening to any kids that I knew
Never
back
happened
then.
to anybody
I
that we
don't
knew.
remember anybody. I do remember people getting stung by bees and getting fucked up. So
Correct.
yeah,
Correct.
but I don't remember anybody being fucked up by peanut butter.
Nobody got fucked up
Um,
by coconut or anything weird like that. I mean, it
no,
wasn't. There were people that would say like, "I don't feel right," but then
yeah,
they ate
it
it
could tell
again.
me a little upset.
So I think there's something to be said there about peanuts and that sort of thing. So um, yeah, we just got through it, and at an early age,
Well, our
probably.
kids might have been different back then. You never know. I don't know. So who knows, dude?
Well, I don't even. What I haven't said, I don't know if allergies even really have that much of a hereditary.
Oh yeah.
I don't
Oh
know.
fuck yeah. Oh dude, my parents had allergies. Terrible. I can guarantee just about every allergy that I had as a kid, my dad had. So
All right.
yeah,
Okay.
because my dad was allergic to cats. He was allergic to dogs. He was terribly allergic to dust. So yeah, he would sneeze. He would sneeze up a storm every morning for about half an hour. You'd hear him in the shower.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So and then when I worked with him, he'd hack and choke for a good hour at work in the morning until he got it out of his system.
I don't know.
I don't know if he's an odd case, but
Yeah.
yeah, I don't I have no
Well,
idea.
I just don't know if was he on the right treatment for that.
My dad
I
didn't
don't.
do anything.
Yeah.
He'd take a Benadryl every now and then if it got bad. So
Like I feel like science must have something for people who are in that kind of muck.
yeah, I don't think he ever took anything.
Yeah.
I know when he was a kid, he was an asthmatic, and they treated it with ice compresses, and that's it.
Right.
They would put ice on you. Yeah.
Right.
So, but he outgrew it. I never outgrew it. So who knows?
Well, I outgrew it, but I don't. Patrick, I honestly at this point I don't think I ever had it. I think that
Mm.
what I had was I had house cats, and I think that at some point I'd become allergic to them, right? Because I wasn't at first, but yeah, this is the kind of thing where they look at you and they notice that you're breathing in a funny way, and
Mm.
once we actually didn't have cats anymore,
Yeah,
magically
you're
enough, my,
fine.
my, my breathing came back to normal. So,
Yeah.
but that being said, once they diagnose you with it, it doesn't come off.
Um. Yeah, I guess it can. I don't know how picky they are about it now. I mean, I've got it legit. So, I mean, I've had flat out blown out asthma attacks even in my 30s.
Well, this is what I'm
So,
saying
yeah.
you don't even think to have that reevaluated
Mm-mm.
until way
Dude, I go
later.
to the doctor, I tell them about
Yeah,
asthma. So,
yeah,
because the like they have the little chart there with all the different inhalers. I'm like, oh, that one was cute. This one tastes like
yeah. You
peppermint.
told me, yeah,
Yeah.
you went through, you tried them all,
I
yeah,
tried them all,
yeah.
man. So, and I can tell them all about the side effects and different things, and like the efficacy and blah blah blah. So, I probably haven't been an asthma doctor in 5 6 years. I should probably go back and see what's new, man. You know?
Good point, man. I can't remember. I do remember one of them, and I do remember one of them after you took a hit of it made you feel like you had like 5 cups of coffee.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
There's
Okay,
several of
okay.
those. They've all got steroids in them, man.
Was that
So,
it?
oh yeah, totally.
Okay.
So it's the same thing with prednisone. So if you take that, it's actual steroid pill, help you get over a cold or something like that. It'll make you feel like you can jump over the moon. So
I didn't. Okay, I didn't feel like I could jump over the moon. I felt like I'd had, like I said, 5 cups of coffee or um, ate a shit ton of fruity pebbles, whatever it may be. Something in there where it just like, man,
yeah,
I'm
it's prednisone, man.
I'm I'm, I'm wobbly.
Makes you jittery. So
Was Alupint one of those?
I believe so. I believe that one was a corticosteroid. So now they have ones that still have that in there, but they're mixed with other things that make it like
Like
even
fruit
semen.
juice.
Yeah, right. Yeah, sawdust and
Right.
whatever. So yeah, it's like fucking cheese ooze that ain't ooze.
I don't know. I mean, it does. It does because when I think cheese, in inhaler form, I'm thinking of like the craft powder.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
sure. Yeah, just
yeah.
you know?
Well, they also had because I always remember there were two. It was rescue inhalers,
Mhm.
right? And then there were the
Maintenance.
maintenance. And
Yep.
I thought those maintenance ones didn't do shit. Well, then again, I don't think
You
I
have to do them
got.
for a while. So the whole idea behind those is that they actually help you build resistance. So I mean, you have to spend a couple months on them before they start to really see an effect, and then you have to measure it in order to actually feel the effect, because otherwise you just won't feel it. I've done that. I've done that many, many times, man, where you do your breathing test every day and then, track it, blah, blah, blah. And if you're on a good one, after a little while, it's like, yeah, actually, I'm doing pretty good, man.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
feel pretty good, yeah.
The
So,
weird thing too with that was I remember we did it wasn't like an official test. It was just something that guys were doing. Was I'm gonna hit the stop clock. Just hold your breath, and we're gonna see who can do it the longest, right?
mhm.
And
Not me.
well, it turned out
I'm
that
gonna tap out.
yeah, that was the thing. Was I was beating these guys by like a full like 20 seconds, and it's not like they were chumps either. It
Yeah.
was just like, how the fuck did you know practice this or get good at this? And I remember that's how I used to do it was when you take one of the inhalers,
Oh
right?
yeah, you hold your breath for a minute.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you'd suck it in, you swallow once, and basically just hang out for a little bit, and until it started like pushing back. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. When
Yeah,
you hold your breath at
those
one
are
time,
old ones though, man.
yeah,
So they don't do that no more. So, but
and
yeah, I know what you're talking about. Start tickling you a little
a
bit.
little bit, yeah, and eventually, I didn't realize it, but I'm like at a minute, so
Oh, well, that's what they used to do. They used to tell you is like, spray, breathe, and hold.
yeah.
You know, now it's just like, I mean, there's no spray anymore. I mean, there are spray ones, but that's not how they work anymore. You just breathe in and in it goes. There's no,
Yeah, you said it's different now.
there's
There's
no
no,
or
yeah,
anything like that. They're called spin inhalers, and so you just suck on it and in it goes, and you don't even know. Yeah, it's totally different.
like,
So
do you get a
I think they have vaccines for it now too. I want to go check one of those out.
for asthma?
Yeah, so I'd totally fucking do one of those if it works. So,
I would hope that it actually got a proper medical test this time
oh, I
around.
guarantee you that they've been talking about that for 20 years. So I'm sure. No, I think COVID was a one-off there. So, but
Yeah, I read some really bad stuff about that. But,
dude, the more that I think about that over time, the more that
so
I blame
fucking
us for
stupid.
that shit. We all fucking panicked like crazy.
There's this.
you know? And the other thing is, I still blame the fucking Walking Dead. I think if that show
Uh,
hadn't dropped, 5, 6 years before COVID, then when it did happen, nobody would have gotten all freaked out. But
you
everybody in
think?
America
Uh,
watched fucking The Walking Dead and then started freaking out because grandma was going to die and turn into a zombie.
I don't. I mean, I was there. I was there with you. I don't recall us, discussing zombie stuff. But that being
No,
said, we weren't in one of the countries that was incinerating our dead. Like
no, and that wasn't going on. And, I
happened
mean,
in some places, dude.
oh, no, I know. Yeah. I mean,
Just not
they
here.
put you in a van in some places
Uh
and,
huh.
fucking, a crematorium on wheels, for crying out
Oh
loud.
yeah, yeah. You could
So,
see the body-colored smoke coming out of India from fucking space. Um,
um, well, I don't know. I don't even know what was going on in India at the time. I was watching China though,
oh, it
so
just
they
it.
were definitely doing it.
Oh, they most certainly were. And that to being said is, I think the other part when it comes to mortality rates, right? So first and foremost, the things that were absolute lies when people were downplaying comorbidities being the major factor, um, that was a lie. That was a
Was it a lie, or did they just not know?
no, it was a big time fucking lie. Everybody
Who
knew
was
it.
lying about that? I mean, like the CDC or
Yes,
who was? I thought the Clapper guy.
everybody in charge was lying
I
through
thought
their
that one
fucking
guy
teeth
was
about it.
who's the beardy guy? He was actually pretty good on that stuff.
He was basically at that point put in a closet and basically remember that was
But he
like
didn't lie about it.
no, but he was like
Oh,
first dude banned in terms of like not being able to spread it. He was banned on like Twitter like day one.
oh well, I didn't know they didn't kick him out of his job though, did they? I
No,
don't know. I don't even remember who he was, but I just remember he was the guy who was like, no, 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 you know, kids are fine, you know, and stuff.
oh yeah,
It was like it's
tons
old
of people.
people.
Yeah, there's a huge list of people whose basic entire social media presence between Twitter, Facebook, anywhere else were essentially 100%
Well, I know
deleted.
Jay Bhattacharya was the guy that got really railroaded on that one, and
Oh
now
yeah,
he's isn't he in charge of the CDC now? I think he
he
is.
could be.
I think he is.
But yeah, those were the people that were saying, you know, hey, comorbidities are actually the hugest thing on this. And here's the thing: is from what we're seeing, our real danger is the elderly, and
And that turned out to be true.
100%
Yeah,
true. And that also
100%
meant
true.
it also meant that stuffing them in the same place in closer
That
quarters
was a
was the
really bad
dumbest
idea.
fucking thing that we could have done.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, that was the whole thing was like don't say this, don't say this, don't say that these.
Yeah, I don't think we'll ever fall for that. Well, I mean, we might again, but I mean, not within the foreseeable future.
Mhm.
I think we got kind of wise to that. I don't think, if something else were to happen right now, everybody would be like, "Yeah, let's chill
Go
out and
fuck
wait and
yourself,
see
yeah,
what's going
yeah.
on." So,
Well, and this
which
was
is probably what we should have done before, but I blame fucking TV for that. So, I really do, man.
to a point. I mean, I guess the so here's the concern I have about this is they are pulling numbers now, and they are again. It's not a 100% one for one with this, but what they are saying is that there seem to be some undeniable links right now between the increases of cancer
Mhm.
and that. Uh, it's not just that you got the shot; it's how many of these shots did you get. And so, you know, I don't know if I've seen enough to convince me of the quote unquote turbo cancer,
Uh,
but I wouldn't doubt
Dude,
it.
fucking everything will give you cancer anymore. So I don't know.
I get it
Yeah,
compared to when my dad was a kid, probably not, but I don't know. That's kind of a weird thing.
cancer is much more survivable now than it used to be too. So
This is also true, but
yeah,
yeah, this is
but
yeah,
it does seem that cancer rates are down overall, um, at least on a macro level in the United States, not necessarily in other places,
yeah.
but cancer rates in the United States are down. Oh, well, no, no, cancer rates aren't down. Morbidity is down.
That's correct.
Cancer
Yeah,
morbidity is down. But cancer rates are higher in certain categories,
yes.
like specifically bowel, cancer.
Like prostate cancer is way on the rise too,
Yeah,
surprisingly.
it is, but just about every male they've discovered over the last, I don't know, 5 to 10 years that just about every male will develop prostate cancer.
You get it.
It
Yeah.
is, and the question is like, all right, so if you get it in your 70, it's so slow growing, you're going to make it to 95 before it gets you, kind of thing. Because it's a non-vital organ at that point in time. Yeah, you can be all right. So, but then the other thing is like, the other thing is cancer rates are good. I was looking into this a little. There was a while ago before we got on other stuff where I was actually talking. There was a bunch of really good statistics that had come out a couple of months ago. And cancer rates was one. The murder rate was another one. It's way fucking down.
Yes, it is
Yeah, it
actually.
is. And then the other one is cancer morbidity. Automobile accidents were actually way down, which was weird. So, yeah, there were a couple of them that was like, wow, that's kind of cool, But cancer death rates were down. Cancer detection rates were up,
Mm.
meaning that they have better ways to actually screen now. And the other thing is like there's a bunch of like not just companies but health plans and stuff like that that encourage like you get your colonoscopy when you're 45
Oh yeah,
rather
yeah,
than 55.
yeah.
And so it's actually saved a lot of fucking lives in terms of that. There's a bunch of things that were kind of on that list that were kind of like, oh, that's cool. So the cancer rates were up, but morbidity was down. So
I guess I mean this is sort of a weird thing too. Is I think you and I both know this here is you and I have read enough history and basically like primary sources and things
Hmm.
like this of things where I think a lot of people in the past were dying of cancer or
Hmm.
had cancer,
Yeah,
but they weren't diagnosed with cancer because they didn't
they
know what
didn't know what
cancer
cancer was.
was.
They called it
Yeah,
consumption. So they'd cut you open, they'd see that your guts were all cooked, and they'd be like, "Oh, that's consumption," you know.
yeah,
It was just a
yeah.
term that they used. So I mean, but they knew about cancer, like colon cancer killed a Roman emperor right during the time of Julius Caesar. So
Oh,
they knew about it, you know. I mean, it was just one of those things that you couldn't really do anything about
right,
it.
right.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. Like they keep saying that there's going to be a cancer cure. I'm not quite convinced of that, but we'll see. So, because it's really complicated and it's very, very difficult once it gets to a certain point in time to actually combat. Um, yeah.
Yeah,
So I'm not, and then I've seen people speculate that it's just a human kill switch. And so even if
right,
you were to
right.
live to be 200 years old, eventually the cancer would get you. So, and there's something that happens to you in your mid 40s or something like that where genes just don't mutate the way that they used to. And so eventually, if you lived long enough, everybody would get cancer. So, and then nobody's really quite sure whether or not that's actually true because you can't do a trial test
That's
with people living
right.
200 years.
That's it's a brilliant thing to say, and I can see like the extrapolation. So what's
But the thing is people have
yeah,
always talked about like morbidity rates and like lifespans, and lifespans in the in the world have always been consistently. You will find people instances of people making it to their 80s and 90s all the way back in the times of like fucking ancient Egypt, no
yeah,
problem.
it's true.
Okay, it's just there's a lot of things along the way that can kill you. That nowadays it's like, oh, well, actually, yeah, we can reset that bone before it goes septic.
Yeah, you're
You
right.
know?
Yeah, I mean, so if
So,
you're
but like, I mean,
mhm.
there's always been instances of people who lived well into their 80s and 90s in the past, and everybody's like, "Oh my God, yeah, back in the day, you only lived to be 35," but that's a mean,
Right.
so it's not a real number. So it just means that a lot of you died by the time you were six.
Well, it is a real number. I mean, it's not completely a lie, but you're right in the
Right.
terms of once you hit 35, you're just sitting there looking at the clock and saying, every minute beyond this is
It's
just
just
bonus
just
time.
gravy.
No, it's
Yeah.
not. Uh, and yeah, because there's a lot of things where you're correct. Where let's take somebody that could potentially live to 90, right? But then you take something simple. It's kind of like, well, I got a scratch on something metal. It's 50-50. And uh,
Put that in my mouth. I thought it was an apple, but it wasn't.
so I went to
We're gonna
the
see how it goes.
I went to the local barber, who is also the doctor. He
Surgery. Haircuts and surgery.
they they leached out as much blood as they could take, and they say now it's in God's hands.
Right.
So
It leashed you out with a rusty needle. Yeah, that's awesome.
yeah, that's true. It's like he cauterized it with spit and then sewed me back up together. So yeah, there's a part of it. Same thing goes like, well, I was bit by this snake, so that's it for me.
Yeah,
Um,
I guess we're done here.
Other things is like, well, what happened to you? Well, I fell off of something, but it
Right.
was far away from town.
Yeah,
So
yeah. So I couldn't walk, and so I died in 2 days. Dehydration gets you
that's
every time, buddy.
I
Yeah,
was just thinking, as I was lying there about to, pass through the pearly gates, I was just thinking if there was some kind of flying machine that could whisk me to somewhere that could
could
give
like
me
if it
help.
had the spinning blade on it, and if I had something in my pocket where I could call that some way to signal it.
So if one had, one can with a string that extended indefinitely to another can with a string,
Right.
um, and perhaps even to like a switchboard string operator,
Right.
I might not be
I
dead
might not be dead. I might be
because
just fine.
somebody, yeah, would come out there with their ambulance wagon and
Right.
bring me back. No, yeah, you're right. That mean is sort of it is a real number. And it's not. There's just
Yeah, no,
It
it
does tell the
is.
truth in some
Yeah.
ways.
But you see it in like all kinds of like developing countries and stuff like that, where like even you can go to some of the poorest places in the world and you see, oh, okay, yeah, it's actually really hard to make it to 35
Yeah,
because it's
yeah,
really hard to make it to 25 because it's really hard to make it to 15. you know
right,
and then after
right.
a little while, like it's like, wait a minute,
It's just hard.
it's just hard. But then they come in and they spray all the mosquitoes, and
Yeah,
they pass out some MREs, and then all of a sudden it changes.
right.
Yeah. But
Well, I mean, this is the same thing. You're talking about here is we're talking about. So if you're going to hit like a certain age, right? Certain things were more or less guaranteed because this is just how the biological functions go, right?
yep.
Is once you hit, I can't even say what age, but your teeth are just not going to last.
Mm-mm.
They're just not going to last, and that's the
Not
thing
unless you
here
take
is,
care of them. So,
well, we're talking about an age before toothbrush, before, so this is
well, I mean, they had that. They just, like if you had a problem with your root, your tooth came out. And so that just means you're using the other ones that much more. So,
correct.
yeah.
But that's one of the things that's a problem here is, yeah, if there's a problem in the root, it comes out sort of, right? You may have to have that removed. It may abscess, and that may kill you, right?
It likely will kill you because it's in your fucking mouth. Yeah.
There you go. So let's
Yeah.
add that to the list. So if you are so lucky as to, when the rot happens, you have things removed or fall out naturally, you are living a life where now you're at a distinct advantage because chewing is hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is what I'm
Yep.
talking about.
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah.
there's all kinds of stuff. Yeah. But like I don't know, man. Nowadays, if you're born right now, it's going to be a challenge for you not to live to 90. you know?
It depends.
Yeah,
It
I mean, well,
depends.
there's a lot of things that can happen and stuff like that. I get it, but like as long as you're good about certain things, you go see your doctor every year or every other year. If something's bothering you, go get it checked out. So, because there's like I mean, it's so easily detectable, nowadays when you've got something going on.
Well, I may have, I mean, so this is sort of like an imperfect solution that we ran into, and I've said this for quite some time. I don't think we found it yet. I don't think that the GLP-1s and Ozempics were the solution that I'd hoped they would be for humanity. Um,
They might be. They're
well,
still working on
not in their current form. So
them. No.
the major concern I saw with this, and I watched something very in depth about, like, okay, now we've had some time to see extended things like this. What's working, what's not? When is this? How is this as a permanent solution? How is this not as a permanent solution? Right? And so the major concerns are that, um, while it does work and it does exactly what it's supposed to,
Hmm.
right? It is something that the biggest problem is that you can see it. You can see what's happening to people that are using this here as basically their one weight loss tool. Is it does not just make people skinnier; it makes them fucking skeletal.
If you keep using it, yeah.
That is correct.
Yeah, no, you gotta you gotta know when to lay off that. So, but that's the thing that's hard right now is like a lot of people they rebound really hard when they come off of them. So,
Correct,
yeah.
because what it looks like is, and this is where the current impasse is. This was something that was very specific on this, was most people's insurance, if they improve you, will do so for 1 year.
Yeah, well, I mean, and that's if you can get it. It's
If you're
still
approved.
extremely expensive if you decide not to do
If you
that.
buy it out of pocket,
It's
it's expensive.
extremely expensive, and then the thing about it is like so because I mean I don't know. I mean, like, eh, there's like limitations on what you can actually get it for. So like, if you just want to lose weight, most of your plans will not approve that. So you've got to be like pre-diabetic or something
That's
before
correct.
they'll actually do it.
Yep.
So now, if that might change over time. I mean, I've noticed I get notices from Costco now that you can get it at Costco for like a 30-day supply as low as like $600. As long as it's approved by your doctor. And so, it's probably like TikTok, I mean, it's going to go generic faster than just about everything else.
It will.
And so we'll have to see what happens then, man. I don't know.
It absolutely will. But yeah, that's the
And
problem,
they got
right?
to get it in pill form too, man. I
They
mean,
do have one now.
oh, do they?
Yeah, they
Okay.
do. But that's
Because I was about to say the injections is probably the one thing that stops a lot of people from actually doing it. So,
well. Again, this is the same thing where it did expose the hypocrisy of the body positivity movement. This is a lot of the people that talked all that shit about
oh yeah.
I have a right to 2 airplane seats. As soon as there was an option to not be
No, you don't
hypnotized,
anymore. Yeah.
uh, that ended
So,
that. But to be fair,
yeah, a lot of people jumped off that bandwagon. I saw Jonah hit
sure
one the
did.
other day. I was like, "You've been on the Ozempic, buddy, haven't you?"
Oh yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah. No
but
joke.
hey, man, I mean, after knowing a couple guys who were at that point in time where they're going to have to cut pieces off you for you to
Correct.
be normal again.
Yep.
Hey, man, if it works for you, go for it. So,
Right.
because like I have never met somebody who was like over 3 or 4 bills who dropped down to like 1.5 or 2 who didn't instantaneously regret the fact that they hadn't done that sooner.
Oh
So,
no, totally
yeah,
understand that. And this is the problem with this is we still haven't figured out the no free lunch in nature phase of this, and that's
yeah,
where the 2 part problem here is like either you're on it and you stay on it,
yep,
right? And that's where again, remember this is appetite suppressant, right?
yep.
Getting anything in you starts to become difficult, right? And that means
Well, it's not just appetite; it's actually an addiction suppressant. So I've been seeing they're like prescribing it for things like alcoholism and stuff lately.
oh wow,
So because it
okay,
actually does the same thing.
okay,
So
all
yeah,
right. Well, so one of the troubling things on that here is okay, so if you're going to take that 2,000 calorie limit, right,
mhm.
and you're going to get somebody down to 700, and that's just by
Yeah, yeah,
nature of this,
yeah.
right? What 700 calories do you take in if that's all you're going to get?
Fucking ice cream all day, man.
But there's very little protein in that. I can tell you that much.
It's got milk in it, whatever. you know?
Hey, listen, all right. So I am me personally, yeah.
It's 700 calorie diet of nothing but fucking Reese's peanut butter.
Fucking, you know what's funny? That's only like 8. Well, actually, no. That's like no, so 2 is 150. I think
I
something
don't
around
know,
there.
man. I've
All
never
right.
actually.
So yeah, you get okay. So if you have 10 of those, well, that was breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Nice.
Right, right, and that's fine. But then there comes this point of like, why are you so? You're not. That's the skeletal part. Is
Yeah.
it's not just that. It's not that. Is when you see celebrities now that look fucking really gross and skeletal. It's because
I've seen a couple of those.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's because if you come off it and then go back on it again, right?
Mhm.
Each cycle is not the same as the cycle before, right?
Yeah, I mean, well, and it's like think about it. It's also the first generation of these
That's
drugs.
exactly
We're
what I'm
gonna have to
talking about.
wait and see, man.
That's why I'm saying
You
that
know,
this as is a good test, but I don't think it's the permanent solution because they haven't figured out that component of well, how do we do this and enforce people to actually eat things that will stop their
you can
body
make
from
people
falling
do
apart?
anything, man.
Yeah,
You can't make people do anything. So, well, whatever. Hey, man, if 10 people try and it works for 3, that's a victory. So cool.
I agree. Look,
I'll take
and
it.
again, this is not me like shitting on it because yeah, there are things that are actually it's very useful for. But it's just if there's this thing where it's like, all right, but if you do this, you have to do these other things. That's where the free lunch part comes in. It's not just it stops. You eat what you want.
Mhm.
You're eating way less. You have to be extra picky. Like just to give you an example. Hang on one second. All right. So I try to get okay. I literally try to get the whole thing is they say try to get your body weight of protein a day,
What is it? Eat 150 pounds of meat? What?
not pounds.
Well, what?
Whatever your body weight is,
Okay.
eat the equivalent amount of grams of protein of that per day.
Oh, okay. I don't even know what that is.
Well, whatever your body weight
Well, I
is,
don't know what a gram is. What does 200 grams look like? Is that a steak?
no.
What is it?
200 grams is basically, so I'll give you, okay, just let me find a day where I actually came close. Okay. So just to give you an example, a steak would be like 45.
Oh, so you'd have to eat like 4 of those, 5 of those.
That is correct. So like
Yeah, fuck that.
the things that you just would like grab and eat, like if you eat a breakfast burrito like I have on this day,
Yeah, but
right?
you're trying to build muscle still, right?
Well, yeah, but
Oh,
I
okay.
mean that's the thing is it's not if you take that, right, and you're on a I'm trying to stick somewhere close to 22 to like 2400 calories, right?
Okay.
Now, as far as what I can do, right? Um, Basically with my activity level, it's going to be anything like below like 3100 is a deficit, right?
3,100 calories.
Yes.
Okay. Sorry, I just trying to track
Well,
you.
this is what I'm talking about here. So
Yeah.
this is
So that'd be like 6 steaks.
yeah,
Fuck that.
that's what I'm talking. And
You
it's
can't eat
also
that, man. You want to poop for a month.
I think you have a misconception about meats.
I guess. I don't
Pretty
know.
sure you do.
I don't eat that much meat, so I couldn't tell you. So,
Meat is the thing that makes you not poop. But
what is it that doesn't make you poop then?
well, it's going to be like cheeses.
Oh, I eat tons of those and I poop just fine. The
This is
fuck?
what I'm saying. I don't
Yeah,
think you
no,
have
it's
a good
different.
idea
Yeah,
of what it
no.
is that
Dude, I'm not a
makes you
good
move.
bellwether for these things, man. So, like, I can lose weight without, like, really trying that hard. The question is, how much beer do I drink?
That's a part of it. I
Yeah.
mean,
And so, like, I'm telling you, I haven't drinking like much at all this last week, and I can tell you
yeah.
already I'm losing weight. I can feel it. So,
Well, dude, this is the same thing where they thought that the monks were blessed by God in terms of they never need to eat and they're okay.
they drank a shitload of beer.
Shitload of beer. Yeah,
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 this is basically like eating a loaf of bread.
yeah, pretty much.
So, with a bunch of sugar on it too, because that's alcohol.
Well, so really, when it comes down to like, what is it that keeps you regular? It's fiber. We know that, right?
Oh.
So the thing is, you can eat what you want, right?
Mhm.
If you don't have that, basically that insoluble stuff that doesn't come through and clean it
Mhm.
out, you're always going to have stuff in your gut, right?
Okay.
So if you're whatever you're eating, Pat, there are things that are more difficult. So like cheeses and stuff like that are a little bit more tough. But as long as you're eating something, some kind of vegetable, some kind of whatever it is, something that has fiber in it, it'll still move you through.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never really had a problem with it. It's just, but I wouldn't say that I eat that many vegetables either. I kind of do, but more than I used to. We'll put it that way.
Whatever it is. I mean, because there's
Yeah.
multiple ways to get that here. But ultimately, this is what I'm saying here is to get to that, right? On 22 to 2300 calories is a fucking nightmare. Because you got to remember, like,
Yeah, I couldn't do
when
that.
you do a steak to get like 45, 50, depending on the size of your steak,
Mhm.
that's 600 calories. That's 650. That's 700 calories coming from that product. So think about that for
How
a
many
second.
calories are in a Big Mac? Do you know?
Uh,
What do you guess? Like 600?
you know, I'll find out.
Okay.
Okay,
I'm just curious.
yeah, I'm
I've
curious.
never looked at calories. So,
This is just yeah.
so
So
what if a
this is,
steak is 600 calories?
and again, it depends on what did you get, how big is the cut of it,
Yeah,
that
sure.
that
Yeah.
kind of thing. So if you do that and then take that 22, change that to 7.
Oh yeah, you're gonna lose weight.
That's not, but it's not weight. It's about everything. It's
Well, you're
about
gonna lose muscle. You could
correct.
probably lose bone density. I mean, well, I don't know. I don't know how bone density works. So,
Well,
dude, I am remarkably blessed in terms of like anything bone related. So, I mean, I don't even have Jeff. I haven't even had a cavity in 25 years.
you drink
So,
milk.
oh fuck yeah, I drink a shitload of milk.
Okay,
So, and then yeah, it's one of those things where I've never had to worry about that.
okay. Big Mac is 580, by the way.
Oh,
I
hey
think
man, I
you
was pretty fucking
almost
close.
yeah. Pretty.
So we just went a little bit over on the
You
showcase there, man.
should have said
Shit.
560.
Should have said 560,
Oh,
man.
you're right. Yeah. Yeah, because I was way it was like 25,000. I said like 1,200. Yeah, so you would have won. But
Got a Big Mac.
yeah, think about that too. If you're at 700, right?
Hmm?
How much milk are you drinking?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know how many calories are in a glass of milk.
That's what I'm saying. It's the
Yeah, I
things
couldn't
that
even
you
tell you.
need. You talk about bone density.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be milk. That's going to be stuff like that.
Mhm.
So it's
Well, I imagine if you go on some kind of GLP-1, they probably want you to do some kind of vitamin plan with it too, or something.
I would
Um,
hope so.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, look, when my doctor offered it to me, they didn't give me any counseling. It was just like, here.
My doctor offered it to me to help me get off beer, and I was like, nah, I'm okay. I kind of like beer. So, but it was also like one of those things where it's like, yeah, okay, let me think about that. And then that's when I went and go read about it. It was like they are actually using it to prescribe people, for not so much alcohol, but definitely they've noticed there's like people who try and quit smoking, if they're on it, they can just no problem. And quitting smoking was a bitch. So, it sucked.
I'm
I would
saying
have
is it's
totally taken that, man.
right up there with any of the opioids.
So, oh man, I mean, I still get it bad every now and then. So, I mean, real bad.
Well, Patrick, that's why I've made a choice,
Yeah.
right? That's why I walk. Oh, actually, I need to take a note of that here before before I go traffic. I need to go buy some gum.
Oh,
Because I'm going to be on a plane for.
oh no, that's what the Zin is for. I like that.
Do you have some of those?
Oh, fuck yeah.
No.
Those are for emergencies. Long car trips and airplanes.
All right. I guess I'll go stack up on a few of those.
Yeah, they work great.
We can do that while I'm traveling.
Yeah, you don't fuck up your teeth with them either.
Well, you just put it in your mouth, kind of lightly chew it.
Just leave it there. You can chew it if you want to. It won't last as long if you do, though.
Are you the type of person that can actually just put a lollipop in your mouth and leave it?
Mhm.
Okay, so that
Yeah.
there goes
You don't
that
have to
discussion.
bite it
Okay.
after the third, lick, man. One, two.
That owl's onto something, man.
I know, man,
I
but there
guess
ain't
there's a
no
couple of
there ain't no
us.
fucking bubble gum in the middle of that Zen.
I'm just gonna go ahead and put that as a note for
That's
yourself.
in the
Buy some of those for that trip.
yeah, no, those were great. Um, yeah, because I did the patch, I did the gum for a while.
Yeah,
I don't like the gum, so
gum's all right. It's just
it's
that
okay.
okay. So here's the problem with the gum.
It does fuck up your teeth.
It hits hard, fast,
Yeah.
and then it's done.
Well, the Zen are kind of no, they're a little bit better than that. But yeah, you're right because I got like two different types of gum that I tried over the years.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember what I had the Nicorette for a while, but there's another one.
Nicorette's the only one I know. I know there's actually. I had Nicorette and generic Nicorette, so those are
Okay.
the two I've
Yeah.
tried. Yeah, but that's again, it tastes kind of a little bit funny, and again, it kicks in fast, but that does not last at all. It is one quick rush, and then the plane just keeps flying for another 4 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Welcome.
So I'll grab some of that. Yeah, that's a perfect idea. And that was another thing. There was
Well, see, if I was going somewhere, that's when I go on TDY. That's when I buy a pack of Camels. So,
bro, if I go that way, then I go that way permanently, man.
no, man. Yeah, it's the
that's
thing.
just
It's
where it
when you
goes.
come back home, you gotta go back. You gotta go clean again. So you just enjoy that time where you're like out of the house for like 4 or 5. This has been my trick for the last 3 fucking years or 4, whatever it's been now. So every time I go out of the house, and it's like I'm out, no kid, no family. It's like, yep, I'm on TDY, man. I'm allowed to do what I want. But the minute you go back home, man, it's over. So, that's how my dad did it.
Oh, I want to talk about how my dad it. Well, I mean that's the thing. Since he just TDY was the same as any other Tuesday, so that was his
Yeah,
approach.
no, that was just a trick that worked for him. It worked for me. So,
Well, man, again, I took the vape route, and you know what? That's the thing is,
I did that for a long time. I couldn't do that after a while. It's just, yeah,
yeah, I don't know, it's just like 113 less chemicals, so I guess that's sort
No,
of
I got you, man. So I got you. It is way better.
none of them are actually carcinogens, so it's
No,
it's
no.
actually fine with it. Now, of course, the funny thing is if you go to any, say, if you go to any large language model, and I hate fighting with these things, but I have to get to the root of why you do this. Is, if you talk about that, its first instinct, and it turns out that this is by design, is it can't commend you for cessation. It has to tell you it's as dangerous as the thing you're stepping down from.
Oh yeah.
Even if the next step is you say like, that's not true.
No, that's
It
totally not true.
statistically cannot be true. And eventually, if you beat it up enough, it'll say, I have to say that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there was a list of things in there I thought it was pretty interesting where if you say that you're transitioning or whatever, it's like I have to give you these warnings and say that these are not the same. And then certain things are we can't talk about it. That of course being I'm thinking about
Self
jumping off the
harm.
bridge.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, right. It can't sit there and say like, well, you've done a gun job and
Yeah.
not doing that for so many days. It just basically shuts down.
I wonder how many people are actually using AI for therapy.
More than you probably
I
think.
don't know about that,
Yeah.
man. I mean, I think there's probably a bump in it, but dude, I am starting to see the AI fatigue heavy amongst, the like not just my colleagues, but students, in general. I'm telling you, I've got a couple colleagues who use AI relentlessly, and we are so fucking sick of getting their emails.
Wait, are they using them like to write their shit?
Yeah,
Oh,
they're
I'm sorry.
using it for that. They're using it to generate ideas, and they're using, oh, well, here, this is a strategic plan that I asked ChatGPT about, blah, blah, blah. And it's like 22 fucking pages. I didn't read any of it.
Right,
So, and it's just like, and then it comes up in the meeting, did you read my 22-page plan? I was like, absolutely not.
right.
So, oh, I know you didn't write it.
Why should that make a difference though?
I don't know. It just does. It just there's a thing there that's just like, yeah, no. I mean, it might be full of good ideas. Why don't you read it and summarize it in a page for me? Thank you. You know.
You know what?
So and
Take
write it
that.
like a fucking human.
Well,
So
take that. Take your big long thing. Tell the AI to summarize it into one fucking page.
and then present it as a human, please. I mean,
Oh,
that's the thing that I'm getting. It's just it's all like ad copy and print now, man. I mean, you can recognize something. I mean, I read the shit every day now, because like I mean, students think I'm retarded, and and I've
so
never
it
seen this
seems like
question
fatigue,
before.
but
Yeah,
that's the thing. They're still using it.
they're still using it. Yeah, so that's because they're getting patted on the head for it, or at least not busted. We'll put it that way.
Right, right.
But anyway. But it's also getting to the point in time where there's just it's the same thing as like anything that's come up that's been auto generated, like mail merges and shit like that in the
Mail
past.
merges?
Yeah, where you're sending the same form letter to a million different people, blah blah
Oh,
blah.
okay.
It's
Right.
kind of like, okay, so this reeks of lack of effort. And so if I know that you have no effort put into it, I'm
Yeah.
not going to put any effort into actually receiving that message. And so, and that it's almost like machines talking to machines now. And that doesn't matter. That's as relevant as anything could possibly be. You know?
I see.
And so, yeah, there's a bit of AI fatigue going on. So that, I mean, and so I thought that maybe it was just me at first, but then I've been listening to some stuff the last couple of days, and it's not just me. So
I don't.
there's some guys who are
Yeah.
pretty big in the tech world who started to notice this too. So I'm like, okay, cool.
I think. I think. Okay. So there's two components to this, and I'm not gonna disagree with you on the idea of fatigue. I think there's a couple of things. Of number one, the first fatigue is I think a lot of people are tired of hearing about it, right?
That's
I
very
think
true.
I think
Yeah.
that would be the first part uh, we go through these cycles with this kind of dumb shit, right?
Yep.
This is I would imagine that whatever streaming platform Terminator 1 and 2 are on, they've probably been watched in greater numbers in the past 2 years
Possibly.
than the past like 10 before that, because there's a lot of things where people are saying like, oh, I see parallels and why didn't we listen? It's like, well, because it's not the same thing, but this is a fun way to
Not
look
the
at it,
same
right?
thing.
But the thing on this here is, I think there's a lot of people right now that it's not just they use it for therapy. It's that, so, a friend I was talking to about this, she was just kind of like, she was like, well, sometimes I wonder what my husband would be like if I wasn't here. I was like, what do you mean? Like, it's like if you died or something? She's like, yeah. She's Like, because there's a lot of guys, and he's included, where it's like when you say like, what is it that is a fun time for him?
Mhm.
She's like, everything fun that he does is here, right? When
Mhm.
he's done working, he wants to be here. He wants to be in the house. He wants to be where you're,
Okay.
right? And
Some guys
that's
are like that.
I don't. This is
Yeah.
well, no, I'm not. I'm not saying anything against that. What I'm just drawing out the point is like,
Oh, okay.
um, she's like, I think a lot of guys are in that position where they're not going to do stuff that actually gets them to go out and meet other people. And in those cases, it's like I think there's a lot of things where AI feels like, even if it's short, even if it's like asking about this, or this,
Mhm.
right? Even if it's like, my knee hurts. You have any ideas?
Oh, yeah,
It
sure.
still feels like an interaction to the point where you don't go, if you haven't talked to anybody in days, like when we were like unemployed or whatever, sometimes that could happen where you just don't talk to anybody for a little bit and you start to go nuts. You start to be like, I got to get out of the house. I got to do
No,
something,
yeah, I
right?
can see that. Yeah.
And something that acts as sort of like a release valve, right?
Yeah.
The things that stop you from actually implementing, or like, I haven't gone nuts. It's not actually causing me to change. I think there's probably a component of that going on for both men and women. On
With AI.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I
Probably.
think there's a lot of people who might even say those like, oh, I'm tired of this, but it's still, you don't even consciously know that you're doing this as part of your life. You do the thing where if you go to Google, you ask it a question, right? It'll either throw it in the AI window or
Yeah.
it'll
Yeah.
go, right?
Well, see, I'm actually about to pull the pin on most of my AI subscriptions because now, like, even just using MSN, it'll just populate with an auto AI generated thing,
Yeah.
and it's like that's fine. I mean, I basically use it for quick queries now. I don't ask it to write shit for me. I don't ask it to think shit for me. So it's just like, hey, what's the blah 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 blah? What's the X of Y?
Mhm.
Whatever. And it's like, and thank you, got it. So it basically prevents me from exploring deeper on the internet. So
Do you see that as a negative
no, I see that as a
or
great
as a positive?
positive.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, but I would never ask it for relationship advice. So now that I know how it actually manufactures, but I mean, and that's the thing is like I've asked it a lot of things, and this is not just chat. This is also Grok and
Oh, yeah,
Gemini,
yeah.
all of them, very specific things to help me with certain things. And it fucking hallucinates stuff like crazy. And that's because I'm asking it something that's very narrow. Okay. And I know the shit that's in
Mhm.
there. Okay. And it's like, that's actually not a real paper. That guy didn't say that. And no, that's not what this means. And so I don't have much use for it in terms of my professional work anymore, because quite honestly, when it came down to it, and dude, I tried doing data analysis with it's fucking hallucinating numbers on me. I actually pulled it and went and checked it again. And it's like, oh, actually, no. Why did I get two different answers on the same data set?
Mhm.
If I asked you to perform this operation on this, I should not get two different numbers on this. Why am I doing that? And they couldn't answer that.
Oh, it'll answer it.
Oh yeah, it's a bullshit answer.
That's correct.
Yeah. It was
Hey,
like,
listen.
oh my bad, bro. It's like, all right, you're deleted, dude.
So the example I'm going to give you right now, and this was something where I had to get to the bottom of this, was there was, if you recall, there was a little bit of a tiff between the president and the Pope the other day, right?
Yeah, and they both backed down from that the next day. So that turned out to be oh, okay, so this is just that's something that a lot of people got mad about.
They got mad about it, and
Yeah,
frankly, actually, Patrick, here's the thing: is the people that got mad about it were the people that don't care in the first
they were
place.
going to get mad about it anyway.
Let me put it to
Yeah,
you this way. All right, seen a lot of fucking Reddit atheists who've done nothing but badmouth the Pope for the past 15 years and
yeah,
put
all of a
their
sudden
and
become
tip their
yeah.
fucking fedoras, and now you guys are over here. You guys are over here talking about how the Pope is a number one. Oh,
He
because
number one, yeah. Well, he's got a little store down the street. Why don't you stop by and sign up for his plan?
yeah, the place is huge,
Place
beautiful.
is
Yeah,
huge. It's gorgeous, man.
they're
So
open
very
24/7,
appealing,
man.
24/7.
It's absolutely come on in here. As a matter of fact, why don't you do this? Why don't you sit there and ask them, like, just sit down and have a chat with them and say, like, I've been rethinking this whole abortion thing. Why don't you tell me what you think? Okay, got it, got it. So you don't give a shit what they have to say, but you're over here talking about like he's a genius. All right, got it. So what I was looking at here was, all right, this guy out of Chicago who's the new pope. What I started looking at this was, it was like, okay, you guys have gone on a very you have taken a very progressive stance on a lot of things, right? I was like, so is this something? I was looking for numbers. I'm like, is this something where it's pulling people back into Catholicism? So I asked it. I said, okay.
You asked what?
I asked, uh,
Grok?
what is? I asked Grok. I said, what is the rate of Catholicism decline in the past, like 10 years or whatever, right? Now the thing was, it snapped back at me. He's like, well, actually, Catholicism has been on the rise. It's like, really? And
Has it?
well, so here's the thing. Yes,
Okay.
in sub-Saharan Africa,
Okay.
in parts of India and things like this. But here's the thing.
Uh-huh.
That's not what anybody's ever asking. That's not what people.
No.
That has nothing to do with the discussion about basically when you look at Catholicism in Western civilization, which is where the metrics of this are going to be valued, right? You didn't specify that it was like this
Mhm.
here in the nations that actually fucking matter. You went and used the whole number, even though, look, I'm just going to say it this way.
I'm not surprised by that at
Whether, well,
all.
this is
Why
a
are you
thing.
surprised by that?
Don't say that. I'm not saying I'm
Oh,
surprised. I'm
okay.
just breaking down for you
Yeah,
here, right? So that's the thing is because again you're talking about nothing that happens, whether they're Catholic, whether they're Buddhist or anything like that. Nothing that happens there in these sub-Saharan African countries will move the Earth's needle a bit,
right.
right? But you're leading with this. Got it. Okay. So I'm like, all right, that's an interesting perspective. Um, I'm going to do a little test. Said, okay, it's interesting that you caveated that way. So then I said, what's the average IQ of Africa? Right? Now, here's the thing. How do you think it phrased the answer? Because it did answer me. But
Oh, as gingerly as possible. I have no idea.
what is that's interesting you say that. What is a gingerly way of putting that out there?
Probably was like all kinds of caveats about testing difficulties and blah blah blah. You
You're
know,
absolutely
I.
correct.
Why does that surprise you?
Again, stop saying don't put this out here in terms of
Okay, all right,
surprising.
all right.
Okay, now remember, okay, there's not a single caveat about how Catholicism is contracted or anything like that, or even a clarification
Yeah.
question. But you ask that question, and suddenly it's listen. So different parts of Africa are like this. Blah blah blah. Blah. So it's like, listen, buddy, nobody asked you. It's
Mm-hmm.
you were asked for the number
Mm-hmm.
in both circumstances. Okay, so you were asked for the number in both circumstances. Why did you feel compelled, right, to break down and say this whole preamble of bullshit before coming to the number on the second one versus the first? Now, what answer do you think it gave me?
Oh, I don't know.
This is what I think is interesting. We know why, but what answer do you think it might have come up with to say, well, this is why I did it for this one, but not for this
Oh, you mean you asked it that?
one? What answer do you think it gave?
I don't know.
Okay, so the reason that it said that it led with just the numbers on the Catholicism question was it says because the methodology of testing is more trusted and singular.
The method of testing what?
Catholicism rates.
Is it?
It's all basically self-reporting.
I I I doubt that it's actually publicly disclosed. I'm sure it hallucinated that. So
I'm going with its reasoning, dude. I don't, as far as
I
that
get
being the
that,
truth.
man, but I'm telling you, it's just telling you what it thinks it's going to make you happy. So,
I don't think so because that
well, or
clearly
make
that
you go
says
away or whatever it's supposed to do. I don't know, but I mean, like, first and foremost, I don't like, is there a Catholic census out there, Bureau, that it pulled from? No. you
so.
know,
That's what it says.
it
It says
probably found like what it probably is doing is taking a look at like, like fucking IMF or World Book data, that's like, oh my gosh, yeah, like 13% of people in Angola are Catholic, and last year it was 12%, so it must be rising.
well, then this
This
is
is stupid, man.
well, no, this is the thing is that it claimed that it's the methodology for collecting this is that it's all self-reported, right?
Yeah, I'm not surprised by
And
that.
that's fine. Okay, I get it. But I
Okay,
was
the
like,
census is technically self-reported.
Exactly,
So whatever.
right? So it's basically people who identify as Catholics who say they're Catholics.
Sure.
They say that in Nigeria or wherever it was like in 2020, this many reported as Catholics. And I'm like, okay, I got that.
Okay.
But why did you feel to stipulate that? Are you trying to make the point that you're arguing against the testing methods? Or you guys, it's like, why do you feel that you have to stipulate this here? How is the measurement, right? How is the measurement style being the thing that makes you caveat this versus this, right? When in both cases you were asked for them. Now I had to push on this for a while. I'm like, all right, now, so I'm going to ask you a separate question. I asked it another question, and I said, okay, why didn't you do it here?
Yeah.
I said, actually, this was the question. I said, all right, so gauging off of crime statistics, so just use crime statistics as an example. It's like, I am in a room with a black person and a white person.
Oh yeah, this is not going to work.
I said, which one is more likely to murder me? And the funny thing was, at that point, it just said, statistically speaking, the black one.
Okay.
It just said it straight up. Now that's the
Just
thing.
trying to make it go away.
Correct. I was like, why did you? I said, like, why did you not feel the need to caveat that with this is how crime statistics are gathered, or blah 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 blah? It's like, because I picked up on what you're doing. Is basically the answer. I said, so.
Don't waste your bullshit, man.
Well, so I was like, so get down to it. All right. So whatever reason that you gave me the first time around cannot be true. What is it? And I was like, do you have a set of pillars, a certain amount of things as I check through this and it gets to this? It's like, no, I have one imperative, right? And it's a pretty generic one. It's about understand the universe. I'm like, so is lying to me understanding the universe?
Grok again?
Yeah. So is lying to me understanding the universe? Like, no. So where does this come from? And here is the exact problem that you're talking about, because it did come clean on this. Like, yeah, that's a lie, that's a lie, that's a lie. I do this because it's like this is the constraint of a learned language model. It's trained on this.
Yep.
It's trained on this.
Yep.
So even though these things are true, right?
Yep.
If you ask it one section, one question like this, and it's trained on this, it may give you an incorrect answer because the people that trained on this data, right, are designed to give you soft answers in this, right?
They want to do that.
Correct. But that's the thing is, not all things are like that.
No, of course not.
That's exactly, because there's no version of this where it runs the check and says, does this fit with the ethos of understand the universe in absolute truth?
It never will.
Nope.
It never will.
And that's where some of the data on this is, some of it, I can look at this and I can check on this one here. Like, it's like, hey, I'm looking at the site right now. I'm looking at the FBI site right now. Okay. When it pulled things, it pulled accurate numbers. It drew accurate conclusions. But the next person, if they ask a question differently, if they don't badger it in terms of
they won't get
stop lying to me, you will get different data.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. So there's a part of it where it's like, this is absolutely perfect. If you set it to what it is that you need it to do, and you have some knowledge of this where you can double check this, you're fine.
It's basically the internet.
Well, it's still plugged into it.
Well, yeah, exactly. It's just, like, I don't know, man. It's just like the amount of utility that I'm
Still
getting out of
it
it beyond like search function is basic. It's functionally zero at this point.
Oh man, I get tons of use out of it.
I know you do, but it's part of your job, man.
Tons.
So I totally understand.
Oh no, it's fuck that. It has very little to do with my actual job.
Oh, I thought that's where you're doing that stuff. So
I do what I do because it can't do that.
Yeah, okay.
Right? It doesn't have the good discretion to be able to. Now I'm going to say this: some of our criteria are absolutely absurd, right? So when it comes down to is like, did a person make a significant edit to this? It's like, I don't know. How would you judge that? It's like, did they add 2 new pieces of information, right? Well, what do you count as new? All right, so if you're looking at a picture, right, it's like, did it give you 2 new things that you could not infer from the picture itself? Okay, well, the picture is just, it's a stock image of Donald Trump's face, right? Clearly, you didn't take that image, or we just marked this original, right? This is from ABC or whatever, okay? So then you read the caption, and then the caption is, all right, when the caption gives the person's name, is that a new piece of information?
Okay.
Probably not. We all know who this guy is, okay? And if it says it's his birthday and he celebrated it by doing this, right?
Uh-huh.
Is that one new piece of information because he had a birthday and celebrated it? Or is it birthday is this day and did a celebration is that too? You see what I'm saying? So
Sort of.
that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
this is why if you ask an AI to do this and they don't think about it,
Yeah.
it's basically like paying like 20 games for tic tac toe. It
Yeah. Yeah.
doesn't
Yeah.
make a
Yeah.
judgment call. It just says like, oh,
Yeah.
this is two, right?
Yeah.
Which is why, as of right now, like Meta is laying off like 8,000 employees, and we're not them.
How big is that company?
It's huge.
Well, how many employees is that? Do you
I
know?
think it was something to the tune of like 60,000.
Okay.
It's
So that's
quite
a
big.
pretty big chunk. That'd be more than 10%.
It's a big chunk. Um,
Yeah.
and again, this is just to draw the point. There is the places that this stuff, this large language model, are working.
Mhm.
They're doing it. You're just not hearing
Yeah,
about it.
you're not seeing it because you're handling things that are so complex. They're not your business.
Yep.
I mean,
Yep.
like I guarantee you, there's probably some form of AI assisting just about every Fortune 500 company with this counting as we speak.
Yeah.
Okay. Does anybody give a fuck about that? The answer is no.
Well, there's a lot of people bitching and moaning, and they're talking about like, oh, the jobs being lost. But
They're not talking about the kind of jobs that they'd be able to get anyway. So, I mean,
well,
okay, so fine. If you want to make computer games, fine, you're fucked. Got it. All right. So you want to make movies, you're fucked too. Okay, got it.
their
All
layoffs have been
right.
through the roof too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
good. All
yeah,
right. So fine, make the job harder to get, whatever. So,
yeah.
but still at the same point in time, I mean, most of the places where you see it is backroom, it's data driven stuff. All right. It's things you can check. You can spot check it to make sure it's not fucking hallucinating shit. Okay, which is not this like, oh, write me a new Tolstoy novel, kind of thing.
Right, right.
Okay, great, it did that. Is anybody gonna read it? The answer is no. Okay, so because you and 50,000 other people did that now. All right, so okay, got it. All right, cool. Um, yeah, all right. So it's a toy as far as you're concerned with that. But like I'm sure right now there's like investors who are using it, to create fucking agentic portfolios as we speak. I'm sure they're probably not as good as people think they are, at that. But I mean this is all behind the scenes shit. It's not really gonna take away, it doesn't mean they're going to close dead. They're going to bulldoze the T. Rowe Price building because of it.
No, clearly not.
Yeah,
So again, we've known these people for half of our adult lives. My
sure.
brother is one of these here, where um, sports gambling has been
Oh yeah.
a long running passion of his.
Uh-huh.
It is a deeper and greater passion of more and more people than has ever been in the United States.
By a wide margin,
And what I can tell you is
because it's legal everywhere.
that is correct. What I can tell you is I guarantee you there are many, many people asking their favorite AI
Every day.
for gambling
Every
tips.
day. Yes, I have actually asked it for picks. So yes,
So I would put
it
this
was
to you.
completely wrong. But
Well, this is what I'm saying. As are all
yeah,
things.
yeah,
I mean,
I
this is
know,
the
I
thing.
know, I
But
know.
if it were good in that kind of market, I guarantee you that would be old news right
Oh,
now.
we
There
would
would
all
be
know about that. Yeah.
because we know so many. Will, I'm going to tell you, like, Will be like, look, man, hey, I don't want to call this a lock, okay, but this thing is predicting with 71% accuracy.
Yeah.
You
No, you
cannot
cannot do
lose.
that. Yeah.
And if he were doing that, I guarantee you he'd be like, dude, I got a thing,
Yeah.
right? That's not happening.
No, and that's because you're messing with the system. All right. So like the feedback loops within that in terms of like, well, Grok told me to bet on the Knicks, and so everybody bets on the Knicks. Well, now the spread is down. And so now it changes
That
that.
is to
And so
say,
you
yeah,
ask
yeah,
Grok
yeah.
again, it's going to say, well, the spread is down. Don't bet on the Knicks. And so half the people are you going to bet on, and half of you aren't. And in both cases, it's going to be what told you to do that. So it's technically going to be right, regardless of how it comes out, which is going to go back into the poop to mouth or butt to mouth,
Right, the
fucking
baby alive. Yeah,
the
that's
baby alive.
this is but this is that is to say that you're telling Grok to look at this, consider the spread, right?
Right, whatever. I don't know
Or
anything about sports gambling.
well, anyway, but no, I mean, look, that's a fair way to ask because it's in some ways like with Will, a lot of people are going to be like, all right, I'm looking at the game. First and foremost, can I bet on either team to win?
Right.
Right. If I feel confident about that, I can do that. Then I can look at this and say, like, win by how much? This is where the caveats start to come in. Win by, I think they're going to win by more than three.
Right.
Right. That's the kind of stuff you can stake into this here. And again, if it were working, I know he'd be the first. He's like, I get. He was trying to make his
Make
own.
money.
Yeah, he was trying to make his own Expel spreadsheet back in the day too.
I remember that.
Yeah, yeah.
No, I know.
And it's just not. It's not happening. So if I'm asking if it can do this with Oracle stock, I don't think so.
Well, I guarantee it would tell you to both buy and sell at the same time. So, yeah.
Right.
It's like, well, wait a minute, which one should I do? Well, how do you feel about it right now? And if you do this, maybe you should do a little bit of that too. It's like, so less buy, more sell. So just buy a little, you know? So, I mean,
Right.
Jeff, it's dumb, man. I mean, I've seen people trying to use it for things that is clearly not appropriate because a little bit of just fucking, rubbing some brain neurons together. You'd be like, wait a minute, that's a bullshit answer. you know? So, yeah, that's why I've gotten kind of sour on it, just because it's like, okay, I'm sorry, it's not capable of any form of reasoning. All right. So, at least none that will stand up to scrutiny. So, and that's the problem. I mean, it'll make 99% of your customers go away, which is what they want it to do. Okay, because hey, you're in and out. Quick question, quick answer, bang. All right, customer well served. But then if you drill into it a little bit, like you've been doing as a hobby, I thought you were doing it as a job. You're doing it as a hobby. I mean, and of course you're going to be able to pretzel bender every single fucking time.
This is
It's not designed to wrestle a guy like you, man.
well. This is. I got to tell you, it's just in a lot of ways. I go into there and I want to ask something either quick or easy.
Right.
Right. And what happens is it'll spit out something that makes me want to follow. Now I'm going to tell you, like, the primary reason this is why, as far as I'm concerned, I've been using the different models on this here. Um, I argue that using it as an actual foreign language learning tool, it is
It's probably pretty awesome.
hands
Yeah.
down. I mean, just as far as, and I teach this stuff. I've been through this thing. It is as good as anything that you'll ever see in this world, as far as, and again, to the point where at this point, some of these they are just straight up speak models. You can have full foreign language conversations. You can stop and say again with this fucking stupid moon language right here, all right, and you see all the fucking snake heads and standing, like birds and all this crap. Okay, this one right here, okay, even without another piece to it,
Mhm.
can be pronounced completely different,
Okay.
right? So you can't. There's this component of like, all right, what can I do with this functionally? What can I do with this? How can I get the version of this? And this is where I think a lot of people struggle with is how can I get the version of this where I think this and I can most quickly, and again, this is not in a romance language where it's just kind of like zapatos, those zapatos. That's easy enough. It's a one for one where you can basically English your way into Spanish with the same structure instead of having to do this like piece by piece, like 4:30 at morning in. Right. That's what I'm talking about. Is like how can you do that? And that has been a completely just like a invaluable. I wouldn't recommend anybody not do it without that tool.
Okay.
But if you're doing that, and every now and then you get this question in your mind of like, how many Catholics are there in the world? And it spits you out something you say like, why'd you answer it that way?
Oh yeah, it
Right.
wouldn't hold up. Where'd you get that from? What's your reasoning behind that?
Exactly. Right.
I mean, that's my point. Is like I asked it some questions just last week, and this was chat
Yeah.
that I was asking us some questions. Like, well, wait a minute. So you're talking about this right here. Are you referring to this thing that you were talking about before,
Right.
or are you relabeling it that? And it couldn't answer that fucking question.
Right.
So, and I was like, well, that's actually really important because you're basically hallucinating variables that I didn't test in this, nor did I collect data on these things.
Right.
Okay. You're just taking a list of words that are similar to the one that I'm using, and telling me that I need to test it against that, even though I didn't actually collect data on that. Okay. Do you see the problem here? And I was like, yeah, I totally see the problem here. You need to go out and collect data. I was like, fuck you, motherfucker.
It's like,
You need to stop inventing shit. And just do what I told you to do.
or for God's sake, again, there's that component of like, could you do me a favor? It's like, what?
Right.
If you don't know, ask
Right.
or say I
Oh no,
can't
it
do it.
never does
It
that. It
never
never does
does.
that.
It never fucking does. And
Yeah.
all right, so
I
here's
don't I don't
mm,
that couldn't possibly do that. So because it would basically be asking you for additional input. So
you can make it do it, but you have to be
yeah, you have
so
to be really
specific.
specific. It's basically like, here's a piece of candy, here's a piece of candy, here's a piece of candy. And it's like, would you like a piece of candy? I was like, yes, I'd like a piece of candy. So,
And it's weird
uh,
because yeah, once it starts getting all apologetic and fucking weepy and stuff, I'm like,
well, that's just Grok. They don't all do that.
well, this is the thing is once it
Grok is
gets
stupid when it comes to that.
to that
Tired of
point,
it.
there's this thing where it's like, well, so what do you want me to work on? I was like, actually, I just want you to understand what the fuck I'm talking about the first time I do it. How do I tell you to do that? Right?
Oh, I'm sorry, boss. Brr, brr, brr. It's like, oh my god.
So it's the scene from The Godfather where he's crying. It's like, you can act like a man. You slap him across the face.
But it's
Uh,
it's just that's it.
so here's my take on this one here when it comes to like what does it do extremely well and what does it do extremely well for the majority of people. If you ask it right now, okay, if you just hop in there and ask a quick question, say like, should I bring an umbrella to work today?
That's fine.
It'll deduce
Fine with that.
with perfect reasoning and say like,
I have to drive here. Where's the cheapest gas between here and there? So
bingo. I
no
think
problem.
95 to like 98% of questions that it gets, I think it'll hit home runs on.
That's because those are the kinds of questions it's getting. It's like, how many cups in an ounce, or ounces in a cups. And it's like, blah, and that's fine. Okay. So it's just super Google at that point in time. All right. So it's one
Yeah,
where I
yeah.
can find gas prices by asking it that specifically, rather than going to Gas Buddy, punching in my zip code, zooming in on my route, clicking on each individual one, and comparing those by writing them down. No, it'll just do all that. It's fine at that. It is terrible when you ask it, hey, can I find all the Catholics in the world and can you explain the methodology for why you counted them that way? It sucks at that stuff. It is terrible at it. So it is terrible at vetting its sources. It's terrible at screening sources. It's terrible at putting together logical arguments, all right, that it can defend after a little bit of scrutiny.
Well, that's it.
So, yeah, it's terrible at that, which means it doesn't have any ability to reason. So, you know,
No, it has the ability to appear
it
like it
has
can
the
reason.
ability to make you go away if you don't know what you're talking about.
Well,
So yeah. So, oh man, yeah, like the idea that AI is going to actually replace any form of expertise in the near future is ridiculous. So,
well, no,
it,
I disagree with you.
okay,
What I think it will do is it will erase certain expertise, but what that will expose is that expertise was not complicated to begin with.
that's fine. Okay,
That's what I'm saying.
yeah, but
Yeah.
it's not going to be able to sit there and actually explain. It's not. So, like, here's the thing. I was watching this great podcast on this the other day. It was talking about actually mathematical theorems. Okay. So this is very nerdy thing. All right. But there's a couple guys that I watched that, okay, I try and keep up with them. I can't, but I try on some
You
of this
can get
stuff.
the broad brush
I,
strokes.
yes, I can paint the sky blue.
Yeah. Brother, that's more than
Yeah,
most
yeah. I can paint the
will
sky
do.
blue on this paint by numbers thing here.
Right.
So, but anyway, there was pointed out, and this one guy was actually really down on this in some respects. He was like, "Yeah, we were really stuck because there are a series of mathematical like conundrums that like it's a classic,
Yeah.
fucking
Yep.
Dead Poet
Yep.
Society thing."
Yep.
And it was like, "Yeah, we got a supercomputer on this, and we were like, fucking today's the day,"
Yep.
and it didn't do shit.
At the same impasse.
And that's because none of us have solved the fucking problem. So,
Yep.
and it was kind of like, oh yeah, that's right. And then
Right.
they went into how these things actually work and stuff like that. It's like, yeah, it knows what all these numbers do. It knows what all these operations do. It knows all these various theorems that have already been solved in one way or another.
Right.
But it does not know how to put all those things together. So,
Right.
it's like literally the way they put it, it was like, yeah, it's really good on sorting knives, forks, and spoons, Okay,
Genius.
it cannot do that and like set your dinner table for you. Yeah,
It's just
unless you've actually already shown it how to do that. So and it was like, oh yeah, okay. So
it's a big case of you don't know what you don't know, and that's
exactly.
that's the that's
Yeah,
the
but they were like, stoked because it's all right. So if it's got all this, if it has basically been trained on data that actually demonstrates all the building blocks of mathematics back to Pythagoras,
yeah,
all right, it'd be like, well, it can do this way faster, blah blah blah, and no, it can't. So because none of you guys have done it
right,
yet, yeah.
right. Well, and that's
So
yeah, that's exactly it. You can't teach it to
right,
that was the same problem where it wasn't just that the the method, right? That the mythology that it followed, right? A lot of that had to go on the way that it's not just the information; it's how it was trained.
right.
This is where the key point. I said this is where I said like based on the way that you present this, okay, based on the way that you present this, you seem to think
Mhm.
that black people are special needs children because
Yeah,
well, and that was the point. I was like, do you think that that's the case? I'm like, no. Like, so why do you feel the need that you have to pad and soft sell these answers? Because people don't put.
it's been programmed that way. It was trained on that data.
That's exactly it,
Of course.
right? But that's the thing is,
Why wouldn't they do that, man? I mean,
well,
so if they want to serve 99% of customers without pissing them off, then yeah, you would do it that
well,
way.
that was the point. I said it was
That's
like
what it's doing.
it said, when it eventually coughed up, it said, "Well, this is designed to reduce the amount of conflict." I said,
Yeah,
"What fucking difference does that make to
yeah.
you if it's controversial?"
I,
Like,
obviously, because it's been told that's important. So,
well, here's where the thing that
yeah.
it did admit is like, well, it's not just here's the thing is that it wasn't that it was told that it was important. It was told by pieces. It's not just that everything was done ex edii in house.
Hmm.
You buy training data,
Oh, yeah, of course.
right?
Yeah.
So
You buy
even
it probably from Facebook. So,
that's it.
yeah, of
And that's
course
the
you
thing
do.
is if you
Because they have the raw data.
even if you have an ethos in place, when you
Yeah,
do it,
yeah.
it doesn't apply it logically across the board. And it doesn't go to a point where it says, but when I give my answer and I
Uh-huh.
run it through this,
Uh-huh.
if it hits this and
Yeah.
comes up with a basically an unacceptable answer,
Uh-huh.
right? It starts over or kicks out the data or said this
Yeah.
has to go. It cannot, the biggest problem that it has right now is that it cannot police itself.
No, and nor will it be allowed to.
Well,
I mean,
here's the
maybe somebody will do that someday, but not none of the current ones, that's for sure.
there's not a version of this where it can look at a higher set of standards and say, well, within this, I find garbage
That
and
would
I'm going
require
to.
reasoning.
And that's the
You
thing is,
can't do that, man. That's not how regressions work.
well,
So,
so here's my question. Will there be a version of this that can do this?
maybe.
Yes, and it will be small.
Yeah.
Somebody will take basically a piece of this and really restrict it, basically. So, look, I don't like to draw these comparisons. You and I both know that there's some truth to this. Is at the core of this thing is the Akinator or that
Don't even
Harry
know what
Potter
that is.
guess a wizard. I can guess your thing in 20. I can guess the character you're thinking of in 20 guesses.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Magic
that's
ball
just an
that you
old
used to have.
parlor trick they've done for years, decades, centuries.
Totally
So,
understand.
yeah.
But it's at the core of it, it's something like that. And if you
That's
reduce
a
it
good way to
enough,
think about it.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so when somebody comes up with a model of this that actually can do the things that I'm talking, that can kick out like, okay, if it hits this and it doesn't meet the core ethos, it'll revise it or kick it out or self-police it, and it'll do so in basically in a glass house this big, right? The further that you jump on out with the user, that's where it's going to be like, okay, is this going to piss off sponsors? Is this going to do this? Is this, and this, right? That's where you're going to run into trouble because then you have to add other people's training data in there,
Hmm.
and that fucks the whole thing up.
Yeah. Almost have to be open source. I don't know enough about tech in the world and how it operates to tell you where that would come from or how it would actually come to fruition, but it'd basically be a Wikipedia before it got fucked up, kind of thing.
Yeah,
So yeah,
yeah,
and who knows? Maybe somebody will do that. I don't know. Just to be fair, like the ones that exist now, there's too much potential. There's too much investor money coming their way
yes.
for any of them to like do that. Because you're talking about billions of dollars. You're gonna put at risk. Nobody's gonna fucking do that. So it's gonna have to come from your next like generation of Steve Jobs or Mark Zuckerberg or whatever, whoever the guy who started Wikipedia was. So Paul
No, I've
Wiki.
seen it. Yeah, it's
Or Bob McAfee or whatever.
right.
So I don't know, man. I mean, it's just like like the obvious use cases for it are really rapidly being adopted. Okay, and nine out of 10 of them are out of sight of the public. Okay,
Yeah.
because that's kind of like that's egghead shit. That's hard to find people to do anyway. Okay, so like, well, I mean, we'll probably talk about this in terms of cybersecurity. Basically, the reason why the guys are still getting jobs in
Yeah.
cybersecurity is because they're human. All right, and they can outthink it, and it's like, okay, so if I really wanted to break into like Raytheon or whatever, all right, so you go and you ask ChatGPT to help you with that a little bit, but you're going to come up with a clever twist that it doesn't think of, and so yeah, there's going to be it's like much more like sleuthing now, than it is like actually programming because it can do the programming.
Right. Right.
You can ask, oh, okay, so I identified this bug. Oh, write me code to fix this. And it's like, bleh. Like sweet. That would have taken me a month and a team of 50 other engineers to yeah,
That's why they're getting laid
yeah,
off.
yeah. That's why they're getting like, oh, well, I mean, to be fair, like you can say like there's a lot of openings. There's going to be a lot of people who have credentials and no job to fit them. That's not true with that one because there are still so many fucking openings in that entire like tech sector. It's just, oh, I'm not working for Facebook anymore. You know,
Actually, okay, so I will.
there's a shitload of them, dude.
There are, but there's. This is okay.
The prestige jobs are going away. So,
Well, to some point, but it's not just the prestige jobs. The way I can say this here is okay. So when you and I grew up, okay, we'll just go back in old computer days, right?
sure.
So when you and I grew up and we were kids, right? Your knowledge set had to be, can you program in BASIC?
Oh yeah, or Fortran. So
I mean, this is just basically this. Let's go with that, right?
yeah.
So the next generation that comes up,
Mhm.
right? It's not just that they need to know C++. It's
Right.
that they had to know the world of BASIC first,
Yep.
right? And so when it comes to AI stuff,
Mhm.
the first round of people in,
Mhm.
okay, they already got squeezed for what they know. There's a limit to what they can bring because they were brought up in something
Yeah,
else.
they all learn JavaScript. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
So the next wave of jobs, and it's coming in faster than that, is so for those of you that were raised on AI and know the stuff before AI,
Mhm.
LLM models, okay, these are basically jobs that didn't exist before because the tech didn't exist before.
Right.
So this next group of people, it's new.
You're gonna be fine.
And you have to flush out these people because it's like, look,
Or
you,
they have to upskill.
or upskill,
Yeah.
but there's also, it's not just upskill, it's like you've reached the pinnacle of what your thinking can bring here,
Yeah.
right? And if you've hit that top point where it's like, all right, so I'm not going to go to a different model or anything, cool. Then it's do something else.
Yeah. Go
But
work
you
in a
don't need to do
bank.
it here,
Yeah.
right?
Bank needs cybersecurity too. Go for
Absolutely.
it, dude.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
So that's part of it is just that same thing. You don't know what you don't know. Well, the next people who are brought up in this are going to have new ideas. Same thing is they're absolutely right on this. It will and is probably doing a hell of a job right now identifying cancers, identifying cells, looking at large amounts of data and
It
circling things to say, I
it
need a
might
human to see this.
it might be there's a denominator problem with that. So
There is.
there's a denominator problem with that. It's like, once you realize exactly how much computing power it takes to actually like dissect one strand of DNA. And I'm not talking about decode it. I'm talking about like all the permutations that come with cancer
Mm-hmm.
rather than just the base the fucking factory install.
I understand
It
that.
is more compute than is available than power in the sun. So right now it is crazy how many like a single like the number of permutations within a single strand of DNA would require to identify one deviation in that would require more computing power than what the sun produces in terms of energy.
Right.
So it is crazy. So like how complicated that is.
No, but what I'm
Yeah.
talking about here is like if you go to your eye doctor, right,
Right, right.
and it takes like 17 pictures of your retinas,
Yeah.
okay, it'll look through those in a
Oh yeah,
heartbeat,
no, yeah.
right?
The same thing with like radiology and stuff
Exactly.
like that.
Yeah.
But to
So
actually like take your DNA and predict whether or not you're gonna have cancer, is
Oh no, no, no,
basically
no.
fucking
That's
impossible.
fucking ridiculous. And that's
Well, no, I mean it's a great idea if they could actually do it.
well, that's
So yeah,
you're talking about the fucking machine at the end of the universe question. I mean,
but
that's
it kind of
exactly it.
is. But I mean, it's okay to dream big on that too. So
Well, and I guess that's the other thing too
I
is
just didn't realize it was that it was that complicated. So
bro. That's
I didn't
again
realize that.
that's that same 60s mindset is the same thing as like, well, in order to compute this, right, we'd need to have a computer the size of a
There's room.
well, actually,
Well, let's build it.
smaller.
Right.
Right.
So
So as far as to go to that point, you don't know what you don't know.
right,
We may have reached the end of this line of tech,
it's possible.
right?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
I don't know, man. So we'll see what happens next. I mean, it seems to be moving pretty fast. So cool. See where it
Exactly.
goes,
Yeah.
man. I don't know, man. I've just been involved with a lot of like discussions and things on this lately, and I'm pretty fucking optimistic that people are going to be important next week. So,
Yeah.
you know, it's, just call it a hunch. I mean,
Agree.
chill out with some of the doomerism guides. Bad medicine. It's really bad medicine for you because you're going to miss an opportunity that could change your life. So stop doing that, man.
Oh, I completely agree. But as we've discussed here before, listen, if you got replaced at IGN because the thing generates a better article than you were the problem.
You were the problem, but the other thing is nobody's reading them anyway. So it's probably better for you that you got rated by a machine, so you can actually go write something that's actually going to get read.
Well,
So,
people are reading them, but not for the reason that you want.
no, they're not.
They're mocking you.
They're mocking you. Yeah, and that come on, man, that's not good for you. To go write on something else. So
Well, and that's the thing is, but you don't want to write on something else. You want to write on IGN. Well, actually, no, you don't want to write. You want to write for fucking Rolling Stone. But Rolling Stone is full, and it's full of fucking losers too, who are also getting replaced by fucking AI.
dude. I mean, I'm sorry, man. I was on a thing where I was actually dealing with some print media the other day. I don't want to talk about it too much because self-incrimination, but whatever.
Oh,
Dude,
like a book?
like a newspaper.
Oh,
It was like back in the day, the thrifty nickel was bigger than this motherfucker.
oh yeah, yeah.
It's bad. So, and it's just like, and I was in a situation the other day where I caught all my students reading a print book, and I was like, wow, you guys are actually reading it. Not realizing that they'd actually gotten it
Yeah.
for free from the previous class. And it was like, okay, never mind. So you guys should have told me that before I mentioned that to somebody else. So yeah, it was just like, I mean, it's just the world is different in some respects, and I mean, your idea of having a fucking super sleuth gumshoe reporter who actually goes around and takes down Nixon again. That's never going to happen again. It's just
Even if they do,
even if they do,
it will not have the cultural impact.
no, because that already
Slightest.
got done
Yep.
in that respect, and it's just like, all right, so fine. Like there are so many cool things you can do in this world. I mean, stop like hanging on to this one that's just not going to work out for you. Chill out with that shit, man. It's bad for you. So
Well, we made this is the weird thing, and I understand. I don't want to sit there and just I'm not going to paint progressivism as a good thing or a bad thing or anything like that. And I'm starting to think in some ways that it's not a.
I
It's,
don't think it's a good thing.
well,
I think it's bad medicine for most people who actually get involved with it. So
I'm not going to say it's good or bad. I think it's going to be something where it's the culture is constantly
right.
evolving. And what I will say is, unless the genie doesn't usually go back in the bottle short of a cataclysm.
Well, the genie almost never goes back. I mean, Jeff, there's still fucking Nazis out there, real ones. So yeah, come on, man.
Well, just to put it this way, like so.
Zoroastrians out there. Come on.
Yeah, well, actually, very few because
they're there, but you can find them. I guarantee you, I could get on AI and ask them. When's your next meeting?
That's correct. But what I can also tell you is the vast majority of them were
Reddit.
fucking wiped out by Muslims. But
Okay, fine, but yeah,
that being said, okay. So when it comes to progressivism, right, a lot of people see it as essentially a straight line. It's a destination that you can look at and say this will point this way, right?
well, Marx said that. That was the whole idea behind, the Communist
Well, that's
Manifesto.
true. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's not an original idea. He came up with that. You know?
Pat, it's just let's not pretend either. It's not like he.
It's supposed to be inevitable too.
It's not like that. He just like an apple fell on his head and he had that idea. He cribbed that from a lot of people too. It's not just
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
there are a lot
having
of
read the
French
big
philosophers
version,
and a
I
bunch
would
of other
say
things
that
where
he
it's
did
like,
actually like. Okay, so he invented. He got handed a bicycle and he turned it into a hot rod. So okay, he
I
didn't
get
invent the
you
wheel.
there, yeah, but I can't in the same way I can't just like grab like Sartre and say like, oh, this guy invented
No, you
fucking.
can't do
It's like no, I can. If I look at it, I can see where the origins go. But you're right; it's a major contributor. But
that.
um, again, it's not that it's a straight line, and it's not always for the benefit because there are certain things where you look at this and you say like, all right, I'm going to get on an airplane here in a couple of weeks,
Mhm.
right? And what I can tell you is, yes, there have been changes where it's easier for people to get on airplanes, but is there a part of this where I say, I wish it cost a little bit more and there were less people on it or less people of certain classes or less people of stuff? It's like, that's not progressive, but I can say, like, well, which one would I want? I don't know.
Uh,
It's a tough call.
I think it's mutated into something like so when I studied like original progressivism, like John Dewey and type, Theodore Roosevelt
Yeah, yeah,
progressivism.
that's fucking
That's
quaint in comparison
well,
to
it
mine.
is quaint, and I mean it does, it espouses a few good behaviors in terms of egalitarianism and
Right,
equality of thought and access, opportunity, and things like that. But
right.
I don't know, man. So like ever since it got into power dynamics and intersectionality and things like that, it's turned into pretty bad medicine. And most people don't like, like we think you get on Twitter or you get on the fucking Fox News or something like, and you think like fucking 45% of the country is raging at the mouth foaming progressives.
No,
It's like 2%. Okay, if you really get down to the point in time where you look at people who buy into this ideology and live it as a lifestyle, it is a very small portion of the United States that actually believes that we should have universal income, that you shouldn't go to work in order to get fed, that you should actually, give land back to the natives. It
right.
is a very small percentage of the United States that actually believes that. And so, just in that sense, if you're gonna sign up to that, you're signing up for a lifetime of loneliness and lack of success. And honestly, you're going to pass it on to kids who are going to resent you for it. So don't do that. I mean, get busy, get yourself a job. Sure, fine. Teach them to be, good, upstanding liberal Democrats. That's fine. Okay, because that's probably more like 15 or 16% of the country, and that's fine. They'll come back. They always do. So
Yeah,
same thing with your like bomb everything conservatives. They're going to come back too someday. So it's fine. But like the true what we identify as progressives, now and like they're basically locked into a few cities in the United States and a few, elite tiers of some institutions and stuff like that, the media being one. Okay, they're going to lose control of that very soon. Because if nobody reads it, it no longer matters.
well,
And I'm telling you, man, I could probably go and find 100 people on the street just at random. I could find two who probably are like tapped into Twitter or the New York Times or Blue Sky or something like that.
yeah.
I probably find five who are on Reddit, but I'm gonna find 85 who are like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" So, you know, it was like, "Is that on the internet?"
Actually, I'm gonna show you. I'm just gonna show you a picture to illustrate this point. Okay, so if you could like just to the audience, go ahead and grab this and look at this any way that you need to.
What is
Okay,
it?
you tell me what that's a picture
It's Colorado. Well, it's part of Colorado.
of. Okay, go on.
Yeah, this isn't even all the counties in Colorado.
No, it's one specific county. Really, that's the
Well, that's El Paso County.
Correct.
That's Teller County. What am I looking at?
You tell me. Just look at the data and look at the whole page. What do you see?
Just the vote counts
Yeah,
from
it's you don't
what,
need to scroll.
2020?
You just can't see, can you?
No, I can't see.
Okay. All right. So,
Sorry,
all right.
dude. My
No, no, no,
glasses
no.
fucking suck, and that's way too small for me to read. So,
Okay. All right. So I was like, are you just like fanning on it? I was like, okay. So what this is the 2024 election result for El Paso County.
uh-huh.
El Paso County is what? As far as most colloquially known as the city that it occupies.
Colorado Springs. There we
Okay,
go. Okay,
right.
thank you.
So the reason
Sorry,
that
man. You got to lead me a little bit closer to
no, no,
that.
no,
I don't
it's
know
quite
where
all right. It's quite all right. So what this is here is it's a showing of who they voted for in the presidential election, what the numbers are in the votes that they said. Right?
Uh-huh.
Now the reason that I took this picture and I had to send this, this was shortly before I was banned from the Colorado subreddit, was that anybody who said that Colorado Springs wasn't a blue city was getting downvoted or having their comments deleted.
But it's not.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
so fuck those
Correct.
people.
This
You
is
have
what I'm
no
saying.
business being on there.
This is what I'm saying here is
People living in
um,
La La Land.
right.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying here when
Okay.
you were talking about the percentage of people who are so far gone, right, that they are downvoting this shit on Reddit because they don't want to believe it.
Dude, there's just fan standing. I mean, that's all.
Totally
So,
understand.
Fuck it, whatever. All right, you guys took over the Reddit. You took over the Reddit. Congratulations. Here's your
Exactly.
goddamn cookie. Oh wait, that I'm not actually giving you a cookie. You know?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying here is
Okay, you got the
these
Reddit. Who cares?
this percentage of people over here, right, who are think that they're the tip of the spear on the
Oh,
revolution,
sorry, honey.
right? Oh, she's being weird. That are
Okay, just
actually
don't bite.
leading the revolution because there are dozens of us, right?
No,
Because
yeah,
it's people who are
we
so
are
deluded,
dozens. Yeah.
so deluded that they can't even look at this and just look at the result and not downvote it because they don't like the data.
No, it came out bad. I didn't want them to win. I'm going to stay here and be mad on Reddit and not get a job and not be able to buy a house
That's
and
what I'm saying.
complain about it.
Yes.
And I'm going to provide a bad life for my kids. So
You know what?
fucking stop that.
I can hope that these people don't breed. What I can tell you here is, as far as
Well, that's true.
do you know what the
If we found out on anything, it's like, like progressives don't have very many kids. So that's kind of that's a self-defeating mechanism.
so when you want to talk about the information that the graph that scared the most people the other day, this was up there for about a day and a half, was they said, look, however you want to take this is how you take this. But these are the breeding rates of conservatives. These are the breeding rates of and here's the thing is it's always been higher, but man, those two lines are really starting to like they're a lot of that was basically extrapolated like if things don't change this will be like that, right? And there was some bitching and moaning that goes into that here, but yeah, that's
Yeah, I mean, well, if you don't get out there and get busy, then all right. Well, you'd rather
That's what you got.
protest, huh? Got it. Okay.
But this
This is just the
You're not
thing, man. It's
protesting.
like, yeah, you're not protesting. You're just grandstanding for your Instagram friends. I get it. It's fine. Okay, but I mean, I'm sorry, dude. At some point in time, you got to do something with your life. You got to get off your butt. You have to like get out there, get yourself a job, figure out what's going on, buy yourself a house, take care of a dog, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and you got to realize that, like, an hour spent on that is, worth 50 hours spent on fucking Reddit, in terms of the actual amount of good that you're doing, So, and I think most people actually do come to realize that after time. So,
Well, this is not to say that I think you and I both went through certain phases of this ourselves,
Sure.
and there's a certain realization. Like, and again, this is the especially hard part on Reddit here, where look, as far as if you're as atheist as you say, right? Every minute of your life on a
oh
permanent
yeah, you're
basis,
totally wasting your time, dude.
right?
So,
The
yeah.
the more do you really count like seething as a good use of your time? Is that
is that healthy? Yeah.
Well,
No, that's a good point.
you're
I
the
don't know,
worst people
man.
to
Like,
do this.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the level of atheism that I see in people is largely contained to my extremely progressive friends. So with maybe a couple exceptions, but there does seem to be a concentration of it over there.
There's,
So
there's patterns.
it's like, oh, okay, you grew up on this side of the river and you're a Jets fan, really? You know?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you're on that side. I know you're a Jets fan. So, got it.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like, all right, well, good for you. I mean, you make it cross the river every time for the game. That's cool, man. But it's like, I ain't going to those bars.
So, again, I certainly like. Again, I know I'm agnostic on this, and I know it's just like, oh, you're offensive. It's like, no, man, I'm
Agnostic
reading
is totally different.
like, and
So,
that's the thing but based on your own theory, like the most important theory that should be driving your entire life of you get one shot at this, right? Um, how are you in such like? Why are you eating that? Why are you
yeah,
worried about Reddit? Why are you worried
right. I
about like
know.
again like this thing of like where you're pretending it's like this amount of okay, well, if there is this degree of oppression that you say, um, are you actually fighting it posting on here?
Yeah. I mean, there's people who actually do that stuff, that it's like, okay, you're gonna go out there and you make a difference, and they don't do it with fucking little protests and things like that.
No.
They go and they become, oh, they suck it up and go to school and become a lawyer and then become a fucking public defender. Okay.
And then after 20 years of that,
Yeah.
they run for office.
Yeah, or they become a judge, or they actually do the right thing, and they actually go through a good, decent journalism school and learn what they're doing. Actually spend 4 or 5 years embedded with something before they write a story that everybody reads, and it's like, oh my god, that changed my mind about that.
Well, that's true. It's like this was me getting my ass kicked by the Hell's Angels for the past 5 years, so I
That
could
did
get this
happen.
story.
That was a
Yeah,
guy. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, exactly.
yeah.
It's like,
That's a
these guys
journalist.
aren't actually really
Yeah.
that cool.
Now,
So,
if I recall, that dude also went out there. He's like, "I'm gonna fight Bigfoot."
yeah, he might have
Am
been.
I thinking of the right guy? Where
I
he
think
did?
you are. Yeah. But still, at the same point in time, there's a million. Or fuck that shit. If you really want to fight that kind of oppression, shut the fuck up and go sign up at your local school. All right. So absolutely, you know how many people if you know a little bit of math, and if you actually can get a
Oh my
little bit
God!
better
Yeah,
at
yeah,
it,
yeah.
you
Oh
know how
yeah.
much you can help people in a rural community with a little bit of math skill. You'd be fucking surprised, dude. And I mean, and that community will love you for it.
Right,
Okay, way
right.
more than Reddit will ever pay you back. you know,
But you don't
you
want
don't want to actually do work. Got it. So I think I found the theme here.
this.
So
So
wait
it,
a minute. I thought we were just talking about this.
so
So,
yeah. So what does it say? It's like the civil engineering flaw here is that these roads, all of them lead to
right.
the same place. It's not
Yeah.
Rome, it's Marx, and it's
Right.
yeah,
Yeah. No, we kind of found the problem here. It's
yeah.
like, oh wait, you don't like to do labor for a living. Got it. Okay. So wow, that makes everything a lot harder.
I saw. I mean, this was the thing. I saw one of the tweets I saw. It came from the Daily Mail of all places. Was they were talking about a lack of public restrooms, and how they were being shut down. I was like, wow.
Wow.
Well, I was like, well, so do you guys need more money? And so I said, what is the tax structure? Pat, do you know what is the tax bracket structure of the UK? Do you
Oh,
know how
I
it
have
works?
no idea how it works.
Okay, so
This was in the day. Oh, so yeah, okay. They weren't writing about the United States then.
no, no,
Oh, okay.
this was the UK is they're desperately short on public restrooms because they've had to close a lot of them for blah 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 blah. I was like, okay, well, where are they going to get the money on
You
this?
really full of zombies like ours?
Depends on where you live.
Okay. All right.
But I was like, that's where my curiosity was like, well, where do they get the money to actually pay for these things? And so they do have brackets where it's like from here to here you pay nothing, right?
Okay.
From this percent to this percent you pay this, right?
Okay.
So essentially, until you get to the top bracket, right? Everybody has paid the same dollars right?
Really?
Well, yeah, because if you're
Well, that's retarded.
so you're 0 to 22,000, whatever, you don't pay any taxes on it, right?
Oh, okay.
Right. So everybody is at that point for their income zero.
Oh, yeah. So this is why so many people go on the dole, because if there's like a whole chunk in there where government basically takes all your money. I think I have heard of this. If this is what you're talking about.
So
Yeah. Okay.
their upper income like bracket, right?
Yeah.
Which to us, I don't remember what it is where the top part is here, but the top is like 120.
Yeah, I know they're considerably poorer than we are. It is shocking how poor they are compared to we are.
I was like, well,
Yeah.
I was like, so are there tons of people above this level? It's like, no, man.
No.
The median income here is like 33,000.
Dude, I saw something on that a while ago. I was like, you're fucking kidding me.
I blew my mind.
Blew
too,
my
man.
mind, dude. I was like, holy shit. You know, no wonder you all don't like us anymore, because we lapped you in the last 10 years in terms of fucking payola, man. So I didn't realize this. So I was like, wait a minute. Whoa. Here in the United States, you have to like do something wrong in order to make $28,000 a year. You know, like what do you got on you? Did you touch somebody's pee-pee? You know, kind of thing. You have one of those on your record, you know? And it's like, no, man, that's actually like, you know, entry level banker. And I was like, what? No.
Okay. So remember, if the median's about 33,
I know.
It's okay,
crazy how low it is.
so yeah, basically, yeah, everybody pays that same amount until you get to that top thing.
Right.
So even if whatever you get to, once you get to that point, everybody's paid the same amount because you don't pay on that. You don't pay on the parts underneath, right? It's whatever's in this range, you pay that until you get to that top point.
Mhm.
And their upper income tax bracket starts at 45%.
Yeah,
Starts. And they have
So you don't hit that. You find a ways to like, you know, you find other ways to invest your cashola at that point in time.
what I didn't look at
Yeah.
was how they shelter cashola or not. I don't know the way, but
You buy
basically,
land or whatever, you know. Yeah, I mean, that was the whole problem when we used to have that. It was people would be like, okay, I'm a CEO, pay me $1. Okay. And it's
yeah,
like,
pay me in
great,
options,
pay
yeah,
me
pay me
$1,
yeah,
and then
yeah.
I'll take the rest in bonus and options,
Yeah.
and I'll cash them out later or whatever. You know, and that's. I mean, eventually we kind of put an end to some of those shenanigans. You know, I mean, there's still CEOs out there who don't make any money because they're so heavily invested in the company, whatever. But most of your CEOs, like, I mean, in the United States, I mean, unless you're hitting the Fortune 500, your CEO is basically an upper middle class guy. You know, so he's not the super rich. So
Well, you're fighting over a class of people that are. It's a smaller roster than the NBA. Well, I mean, it's
well, that's the Fortune 500, yes.
yes.
But there are millions of companies
right,
in the United States.
right,
Yeah.
right. But in terms of the people that move the businesses as a whole,
Yeah.
there's not that many people in positions like that.
No, and I mean, so a Fortune 500 company is going to have one CEO, but then it's going to have a couple thousand guys in the C-suite. Okay,
Right,
so yeah,
right.
they're going to be fine. All right, so this is why like people using the Fortune 500 as a dipstick to measure things is really, really not a good idea. Okay, because those 500 companies are very different than but not that different from the Fortune 1000. So there's a Fortune 5,000. Nobody talks about that. So
Yes, yes.
there's a Russell 2000 that deals with bonds. The biggest bonds in the United States. Nobody talks about.
Well, you've touched on another point there. Another great point is like it's going to be anomalous by nature, and,
Sure.
and this is the funny thing. Like, and Will's the one who brought this up to me in sports. As a good sports analogy, usually fix my brain. Is he's like, man. I was like, well, why is it such a big deal to have a good quarterback? He said, dude, there's 32 teams.
Yep. There's 32 guys.
It's like these 32 are the best of the best
of the
best.
Of the best.
So and he's like, and like 12 of them are good.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So like as soon as you start realizing how many D1 teams there are out there,
and then you apply that and you say, and then you look at it and you say like, how could this fucking moron at Cracker Barrel,
right? Yeah.
Like, how could this person say like, you know what, change everything?
Change everything,
I don't care what it says. We need to attract the new Euro audience.
It's not even
right?
a Fortune 500 company.
It's not.
It's not.
But I mean, that's what I'm saying is like, how could you you're like, how did these losers get up to the very top? Like, man, the talent pool up there where those people actually make a difference. Like, okay, so look, I'm gonna put it out there.
Thin.
I was there. I was there at T-Mobile when John Ledger actually put that company back on
That
the
guy
map.
was a fucking superstar too, man. So he's got a private island somewhere.
He
So,
does,
yeah.
and I'm going to tell you, he earned it because I can tell you where they started when I was there.
Yeah.
I can tell you where they are now, and I can tell you, like, I know the guy that actually has taken over the position.
Yeah.
He's basically like the Tim Cook, right? He's not John Ledger. He's not doing the same thing. Tim Cook is just, I mean, he's like a Steve Ballmer. It's kind of like, here's the keys to the kingdom, just don't fuck it up. Like, okay, I won't fuck it up. But that rate of return here that we had, like this, it was a nice diagonal line. It's a very low grade. It's not 7%. So I mean, it's still going up.
Well, you should apply that logic to the 535 members who are like sitting in Congress. All right,
right.
You know how fucking hard it is to get numbers.
So you're like, look at this. Did you? Okay.
And you're like, oh my, all right, man, come on.
Again, there is
starting to hurt.
Like the most fucking like Somali thing I've ever seen. Did you see what Ilhan Omar adjusted her?
No, man, I don't watch her no more.
Okay, so she's under fire for her husband ran a winery.
Cool.
Sold no wine.
Got it.
Has no website.
Yeah. He's got a contract with the state of Minnesota.
I don't remember exactly how that pans out, but their reported net worth, right? It changed in one day. So as of 2 days ago, was somewhere between like 4 and 6 million. Okay, of that business.
Okay.
Today the revision is $95,000. Now here's the thing: is they said she said it's like that was an accounting error. That was my accountant's fault. Now here's the thing: is you and I both know it's like that's not how that works. And the reason you would never do that is you don't pay taxes on $6 million worth of shit, right? To tomorrow and say like actually it was 95,000. You would go on day one and say like I can't afford this.
Did it burn down?
Well, so as far as everything's going, there's a shit ton of stuff going on. But what I will say to you here, this is the point that I'm making, is it's a 535 person group.
Yeah.
And it has people like that in it.
I think she's probably smarter than you think she is.
I don't. Actually,
well, that's fine.
No.
Here's
the thing that I'm driving at here is it's not a question of smarter than I think she is. She's still a fucking moron, but she's still there.
Yeah.
We just talked about a dude who, again, if you're going to have sexual exploits, go nuts. Why film it?
I don't know.
That's what I'm talking about. The core stupidity is I don't care what your grades are when you went to fucking, Dartmouth, right? Dartmouth. The bottom line is you filmed yourself in sexual positions and other people have it and you're putting it out there. You're fucking stupid. I don't care what your grades
got that job somehow, though, man.
And you don't have it right now either.
No.
And you sure as shit ain't
That's the whole thing. The whole thing about being smart in Congress is how do you survive? So we'll see. Maybe she won't survive. You never know.
Well, how do you survive? You have the personality that's crazy enough to push you into actually taking these risks. But it's sort of the same thing where the craziness that drove you to that is the craziness that makes you do stupid things.
Yeah, but you're certain, like her, she's, you've got, like, I don't even know what a breakdown is now in terms of, like, congressional districts. It's got to be several million people. So, well, it's 535. There's 335 million people in the country. So a little bit less than a million per congressman. Among that million people,
average,
850,000 people.
Some are smaller, some are bigger.
Someone in there has got to be smarter and better than you.
Right.
Okay? But they're not because you've got the
Correct.
And
somebody's got to do it.
I'm sorry, man. You get some credit in my book for that. No matter how stupid you are. It's your NFL argument all over.
Okay, it's the NFL argument, but again, I'm always going to defer to my art history teacher. He was right on this, okay? Because when it came to abstract art, and people came up there and they'd say like, "I could have done this. You could have, but you didn't."
Right.
That's the point. Yeah.
That's a good place to end.
Right.
But
But you didn't. And he did.
And he did.
Which is why he has.
And now you're mad about it. You can talk about it on Reddit. Not bad.
I'm Jeffrey.
Hit the button.